jet, got the loud jumping at the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the Benz jumping at the bag. Vibe blowing at my jet, got the loud jumping at the bag. Everything I'm on slack.
Maybe with the Brazilians, this would be the first.
They wild, I think.
I'm innocent.
Bro, you hear that guy? What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you.
For being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome back to the Wake Up Show. Part of the Free Agent Lifestyle podcast here on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. You in here with the Bruce Wayne this ish. The King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth. Yours truly, the Notorious One, a.k.a. Mr. Coach Alini, better known as the Prognosticator, Coach Stradamus. And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with none other than EWF. That is every woman's fantasy and the whole fucking show. I'm the CEO, Niggero, of Fixes Binds LLC, the unbinder, the undebatable, the undisputed best entertainment here on YouTube. You can call me Senor Gregorio Graybeard. The ladies love to call me Mr. Third Leg
Your
Greg.
third leg was just
Also
phenomenal.
the man with no trabajo. I am the Mitch Slapper, the anointed one.
Acknowledge me.
Also, the founding father of the After Pill, the junior college sociologist, the Morpheus of the mating matrix, the chocolated Confucius, the Black Moses, the deliverer, also known as the man that walks in the spirit of Elijah. I'm the man with more nicknames than anyone in the game, but in case you forget those names, just call me CGA, God, Allah, and I be the 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube.
Trying.
We got a great show for you lined up today. Today's main event, we're going to talk about Diddy's attorneys coming out and saying it is Cassie that was enjoying those freak-offs.
I like to get dominated.
All right. Shout out to Cassie out here. Diddy's attorney saying Cassie said,
"What kind of fuck you give me?"
all right, yes, indeed. She's a Filipina. All right. And she said,
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
this is according to Diddy's attorneys. All right. Don't blame me. Diddy's attorneys out here saying Cassie said,
American people ain't kind of fuck.
yeah, that's what she said. All right. I didn't say it. All right. Don't blame me. But we're going to take a dive into this particular situation here because this does kind of prove some of the things we've been talking about.
I like to get dominated.
All right. Women like to get dominated in the bedroom, and sometimes they
I
like to.
cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
All right. Now, we're not defending Diddy here. This is not a defending Diddy defense party, but we got to dive deep into what these attorneys are saying. They're essentially saying the entire case rests on these tapes because these are the trafficking. These are the trafficking charges. All right, she's trafficking this, and there's prostitution, that, and this and that. But Diddy got his hands on the tapes. And not only that, they said she had her hands on the tapes. He didn't keep the tapes away from her to prevent her from going forward here. She had access to the tapes too. And I would love to see these tapes because I like that little Cassie little thing. All right. She was a fine little thing back out there. Look at this little piece of calico. All right. She was a nice piece of calico out there. I would love to see her getting defiled voluntarily. I would love to see her to get dominated.
I like to get dominated.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she sounds just like that right there. But, you know, that's his attorney saying there's 9 tapes. And according to them, according to this TM Zizzle report, they said she was not only consented, but she thoroughly enjoyed herself. All right. Oh, the humanity. And is evidently happy, dominant, and completely in control. Oh, the humanity. All right.
I like to get dominated.
All right. That's what they're saying there. I didn't say it. All right. People are going to be like, Coach, you're defending Diddy. I'm not. I'm just reporting the story out here. Listen, I'm just new world order. I'm just reporting the story. All right. Anyway. But we got that and much, much more. We got a segment called Thoughtin' and Plottin', How Women View Relationships. It's going to be a great show. All right, we got the Doom and Gloom CGA, Straggle and Sniggle Theater, and much, much more. But to contribute to today's show, $, the Notorious CGA on the Cash App, Venmo, Coach Greg Adams TV, PayPal, paypal.me/Coach Greg Adams. And that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat. New world order. On the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. Cassie said,
I like to get dominated.
Oh.
I like to.
Choked, whooped, spanked, told what to do.
Oh, shit.
I need a man to take charge.
Oh, shit.
And let me just, be goofy.
Oh, no. All right. People are going to be upset about that. I mean, listen, I didn't say it. That's Diddy's attorneys that said it. But we're going to review what they said here, and we're going to see if it falls right in line to what we try to tell these men. There's no victims. There's only volunteers. And when you've been voluntold to do something, when you voluntold yourself to do something, it's hard to play the victim out here. I'm just saying.
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
It's kind of like that. All right. So we're trying to tell men, you got to protect yourself ultimately, because she did try to extort him. I think you all know that. All right. She tried to extort this nigga. All right. And pretty much the entire case rests on the Cassie issue. I mean, there's probably some other tapes, that apparently they're saying Kamala on the tape. All right. I ain't know about all that. They said they had a Diddy list and they said Kamala was on the list. Well, NGN says Coach is truly the one-man show. He's so good, he puts multi-million-dollar production teams to shame, and it's so good that his haters can't stop hate watching him because they know CGA is him, but they're afraid to acknowledge me.
Acknowledge
They got to watch this show. He said, you're being shadow banned. Tell me something I don't know. Yes. It's sad. He says, promote the money mindset, the locals, and shame these Mitches and the losers out here, man. Hey, speaking of losers, tonight's show, we're gonna talk about this loser, my Filipina, last week. Was that last week? No, it was this week. All right, my Filipina, one of my Filipinas out there.
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
She came up and she was like, I know you saw that story. She didn't sound like that. She sounded like she has a choppy Filipina accent. It's quite endearing. But she said, did you see that story of that guy that said he brought his Filipina to America? And I was like, yeah, I saw that story. She knows I talk about stuff like this. And she was like, I know you probably talked about it. I was like, yeah, I did. And she was like, well, he lied. And I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, there have been several videos. The woman came out and put her own story out there. And then he admitted that he lied and he admitted that he was toxic. All right, so we're going to talk about him tonight. He's a loser. All right, he's a loser. He tried to come on the internet and play the victim with the whole narrative that he brought a Filipina here and she switched up on him and started cheating and destroyed his life. But at the end of the day, she came back with the receipts. And not only that, there's two sides of the story. Not only that, he verified the receipts. He actually admitted it. I was like, what? All right, so we're going to talk about his bitch ass a little bit later.
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
All right. All right, and that's all we got to do, because you Mitch ass ninjas, man, want to arrest. I'm not a guy. I'm not a guy that's going to defend men at all costs. All right, I gave up on that because you Mitch ass ninjas act stupid in relationships and then want me to defend your Mitch ass. I'm like, nah, nigga, nah. We ain't going to do that shit, bro. I'm not one of these guys that said men going to win no matter what and the women going to lose. I'm not one of those guys. I've never been. All right. I call a spade, and I call black men a spade. All right. But his bitch ass bitched up, and then everybody cake for him in this space, but nobody's going to correct. Nobody's going to correct, or not many men are going to correct the fallacy that he put out there, the falsehood, the narrative. And I kind of knew it. He was an asshole looking ass dude anyway. All right. But yeah, we're not going to let that slide. No government name. Sucker for love Mitches. Listen loud and clear. Marcus Aurelius, the best literal emperor, couldn't have a loyal woman for himself. I saw somebody put that on Locals. He says she cheated on him with a gladiator, a.k.a. a Chad. What chances do you got to get a good woman? Oh, because they don't exist, you Mitches. CGA tried to warn you. Somebody put that story out earlier. By the way, when I was in Italy, Rome, shout out to everybody in Rome, the original New World Order. They explained thoroughly that a lot of women, a lot of rich women and women of senators and I suppose emperors, they lusted after the gladiators. And what they would do is they would hire these gladiators, should they have survived, and hire them as bodyguards. And they would fornicate with them. They would fornicate with them, yes. So, yeah, it's tough out here, bro. It's all out here tough. You know, women in the past, coach, they used to be loyal and they used to honor men. No, they didn't. It was always some issues. Men have always had issues with women and vice versa. All right. There's no protecting yourself out here. But yeah, they would actually sell gladiator sweat to women back in the day. All right. Yes, indeed. It's tough out here, brothers. You know, I want a loyal woman all to myself. Nigga, you bag groceries. Odds are it's not going to happen for you. Daniel Mack says you be having me cracking up and singing along with you with the Force MDs. He says, and shout out to 8 Ball and MJB. He says, MJB, can I get a Reverend X for the Mitches out here? Shout out to you.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Shout out to you right there, man. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you. All right. And the Force MBs and MJB. Shout out to Ken Rose with the thumbs up. We on these Mitches next. And shout out to our brother Soldier for God. He says, this is number 43 today with MLK, celebrating your birthday, 43 years. It's Soldier for God's birthday, SFG, celebrating his 43rd birthday. Taking a little time out today, like I do every day, to say thank you, Coach and the Coach Gang, for giving the knowledge that men need to hear. Happy birthday to SFG, Soldier for God. All right, appreciate you for being here. 43 years. Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. You know, I think most men wish they're going to know it all by a certain age. You're not. You're going to continue to learn. I continue to learn about life every single day. Never take your learning cap off. Never think you know it all. We will continue to learn. We will continue to learn. So happy birthday to you. We're all in here to learn. And definitely, you know, most of the time when we're men in our 20s, we think we know it all. These OGs don't know shit. They made all their mistakes. And now they're trying to teach us something and we ain't made the mistakes. Okay, you're going to get humble. All right, right around 35, you're going to get a lot of humble pie. All right, first of all, your NBA dreams are going to get crushed. You're not going to make it to the NBA. Neither are you going to be a millionaire in your 20s. You're going to be a motherfucking ham and egger, bag grocery ass nigga, pump gas ass ninja. You're going to be a regular ninja. Oh, and yo, bitch, you're going to lose her. So you're going to get humble pie by 32, 35, 40. You're going to eat a lot of humble ass pie. All right, I did it. And all of us have done it. All of the OGs you hear from on the internet talking that shit, we all got humbled. All right, we all got that Kendrick Lamar. All right, what is it? Sit down, be humble. All right, all right, we all got humbled. Ninja, we all got a slice of humble pie in life, and we got, oh shit, life is lifing. So don't think you know it, motherfucker. All right, that jumper ain't wet no more. All right, you can't drive in the lane and finish in traffic no more at the community college or at the D1 level. People be packing your shit up. Your NFL dreams have come to an end. You're not going to be a pro boxer. You're going to be a 30-year-old eating a slice of humble pie. That's what you're going to be doing. Bitch, sit down. Nigga, be humble. All right? You're going to get a slice of humble pie, and you're going to be like, oh, wow. All right? And then you're going to have to readjust. Life is not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get up. All right, how many times you get up? Every man gets humbled out here. Every man gets humbled. And then you're going to realize, did you hear the story about Tupac playing basketball in prison? That was quite funny. This Jewish guy came out and said he couldn't play ball. That don't surprise me. They said he was non-athletic. I'm like, why y'all shitting on Tupac? He been dead for 40 years, 30, at least 25. But it don't surprise me. You ain't never seen him do nothing athletic. He can rap, though. JC, turns out the 59-year-old passport bro who lost his 28-year-old Filipina bride is a lying douchebag. That's right on time. He says, I may be late with this. Something about that guy I didn't like. Yes, indeed. Yes, I was just talking about that as you were typing that in. But, yep, he's a douchebag. And he looked like a douchebag. I reported the story once, but I was real brief on it, and I used the same talking points. Don't bring your Filipina here. All right, but it turns out he was an asshole, and he admitted it too. So for people that are going to be like, you're going to believe her story, coach? Because she came out and defended herself. She came out and defended herself, and, you know, she gave a good case. I didn't see the entire video. All right, but one of my Filipinas came in here, and she was like, I know you saw the video, Daddy. All right.
Okay, Daddy.
She was like, Daddy, before you... I wish I could speak in her accent. Her accent is quite interesting. But she said, I know you saw the video. I can't do it. All right, but she was trying to beg and plead, please don't make us look bad. Us Filipinos are great. She's always defending Filipinas. She's always defending Filipinas. She was like, I don't know why people talk about us. It's the Vietnamese women. I was like, oh, shit. She be throwing other Asian women under the bus. Under the bus. All right. It's not us. It's the Thai women. I'm like, okay. You're throwing the other women under the bus a little too aggressively here. Something tells me I should be suspect. But she got beef with the Japanese and the Filipino women. She be like, it's them. It ain't us. We're the good ones. All right. All right. I'd be like, it's the sea Mexicans. She's like, it ain't us. It's the Thai women. All right, anyway. She is not down with the other Asian women. She's like, it's them. They're the greedy ones. It's the Cambodian women. I'm like, why are you always throwing the other women under the bus? Why is it not the Filipinas? All right, anyway. Yeah, they always like, it ain't us. It's them. It's them. All right, they always try to say the other ones are the worst Asians. Don't believe the Vietnamese. I'm like, why? What? It's Win in them. It's Win and Ricky Tan in them. It ain't us. She basically said,
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
That's basically what she said. Don't blame the sea Mexicans. And Cassie's a sea Mexican.
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
Isn't Cassie a sea Mexican? I think she's a sea Mexican too. With that being said, let's get in here and talk about Doom and Gloom CGA. Let's go. Doom and Gloom CGA brought to you by the... Oh, by the way, have you noticed the NWO is very busy? All right, the NWO has been very, very busy here, and I told you they would because they took winter break off. All right, normally around the mid-December, they go quiet. Once about the first of the year turns around, they start acting a monkey again on new world order. Doom and Gloom CGA. So all the politics dies down, all the assassination attempts against President Trump dies down. Everybody goes home a little bit, and you're like, all is right with the world. Then these asshole senators and representatives come back and start fucking shit up. You got the Pete Hegseth Senate. You got the hearing for him to get confirmed. They're throwing him all under the bus. You already anticipated the bullshit. But we also have this here. This is terrible here. We got Cash Me Outside. We have the Strag representative Jasmine Crockett out here and Nancy Mace, a flatback, out here beefing with each other in a heated debate in which the white girl challenged the black girl to cash me outside. All right, let's take you to the video here. This is crazy.
Now, so she gonna keep saying trans, 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 so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have
glass ceilings than
Chairman,
you
I am reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not in order.
Order.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, 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 so that people will.
She's a straggle. All right, this is a certified straggle daggle. But look, all right, when women get in power, they'll do better than men. All right, these women out here, go play with some Barbie dolls. Why so much hair again? Why so much hair? This looks ridiculous. Black women don't have that much hair. This is crazy. You look like a Bratz doll here. All right, but they fighting each other. What?
Feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all
I
to
am
tell
no
me
child.
whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
47.
more glass ceilings than
Chairman,
you.
I am reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee.
Oh my goodness! And look at this. All right, Beaker. All right, this old 47. You look older than that. All right, 47. You're looking like 57 right now. At least 52. All right, you definitely been stressed out. And look at that neck. All right, I definitely would get that neck. I think she's a squirter too, but that's neither here nor there. All right, this woman's challenging the Straggle. Who you think's gonna win in this fight? All right, this woman is skin and bone. All right, but she might be tough. She might be doing some kickboxing and shit like that. That's a lot of neck on her, though. That is a lot of neck. Why white women got long ass necks like this? All right, but anyway, she said, "Cash me outside."
He is not.
Okay.
Oh, and she going too. Uh-oh. That's not very Christian-like, by the way. She going outside too. Look, she want to go outside. All right. All right, she want to go outside. She's like, let's go. I'm going to turn my mic off. She pushed the button.
Order.
Order.
Point of order.
She collecting her shit up. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, uh-oh. Look at this. This Jasmine is a straggle daggle. She's a straggle daggle. Where is she representative from? All right, does it even matter? She's probably from Illinois. All right, where is she from? She is from, where the fuck is she from? Missouri, St. Louis. Oh, no, she was born in St. Louis. She is from Houston. All right, there you go. All right, Houston, Texas. All right, she represents Texas. She's not from Houston. She's probably a Sorge Girls appointee. She's probably a Sorge Girls. But she went to college at the University of Houston, and she got her law degree from the University of Houston. All right, so I guess maybe she might be a Sorge Girls. All right, what's going on with these straggles out here? Talk about child, honey child. All right, she's a fake fraud and a phony. All right, that Jasmine Crockett, Houston, Texas. But she was born in St. Louis. All right, so you can see she got full St. Louis strag in there. Yeah. New world order. She's a straggle daggle. All right, Doom and Gloom CGA. Apparently, did you guys know a 5011th attempt to take the life of Donald Trump occurred during the funeral of Jimmy Carter? Did you guys know that? Media kept that under wraps.
Last week, while President Carter was lying in state, we had two lone actors show up at the Capitol. One trying to bring in knives and a machete. Another one who was trying to, what I believe, to disrupt the proceedings by setting their car on fire down in the Peace Circle area.
Oh man, they really trying to make sure. I don't know if you guys know, Monday. New world order. All right, Monday they certainly did keep this under wraps. All right, what happened to January 6th? All right, that's no January 6th here. All right, they foiled yet another suspected early attempt to take the president's life. Well, the president-elect. Former president 45, current president 47. We got to get the man to Monday at least. Got to get the man to Monday. Monday's going to be a fantastic day.
New world order.
All right, we're going to get rid of these libtards for a little bit. We're going to make them have derangement syndrome. All right, I can't wait for that. But we got to protect this man. All right, they really trying to take him out. Trying to take the man out. And they not even publishing all the attempts anymore. All right, this is going to make for a good conspiracy theory. All right, they published it now, though. That was a few days ago. All right, protect that man. All right, protect that man. All right, Doom and Gloom CGA, as predicted in the book The Evolution, ring the bell. Gentlemen, get ready. We're not going backwards. What do I always tell you, gentlemen? Whatever you wish in relationships, marriage, in the agenda, gender wars, whatever you want to call it, we're not going backwards. We're not going back to the 90s. We're not going back to the 50s. We're going to go forward. And when you go forward and you have foresight like Coach Adamas, you already know what's coming down the pike. This should be no surprise. This is not the first state. Well, it is technically going to be the first state. But take a look at this. This report, January 13th, 2025, Illinois. Lawmakers introduce a bill to decriminalize prostitution.
When I start selling pussy, I don't want to hear it.
I told you.
When I start selling pussy, I don't want to hear nobody say shit. When you see me on the corner, bitch, mind your business.
I told you, gentlemen, CGA with the victory lap. I warned you. There you go, right there. Here we go.
New world order.
I told you, man, I've been on the forefront of this way before 2020. I told you we are going here. And people are like, nah, coach, you just want to be out here, whatever scope or whatever bullshit that you guys are going to come up with. CGA told you the first is going to be the liberal states. We already know California, Los Angeles County, San Francisco, Manhattan, all right, places around Illinois. Told you it was coming. I was telling you this, right? In 2019, I was like, they're going to decriminalize it. And that doesn't mean it's no longer going to be illegal. It doesn't mean you can buy it. It doesn't mean you can solicit. It's very, very clear what's going on. Kamala Harris was talking about possibly not running on decriminalizing it, but they were saying sex work is work. And so this is where we're going. By the way, it hasn't been very illegal in our country for very long. It was mostly legal. Then it was illegal for maybe a short period of time. Now, it's been illegal since the 1920s and the 30s. All right, but now, because we grew up with it illegal, but now they're looking to decriminalize it. One of the reasons they're going to do it is because, number one, the Reading Rainbow community, the trans and the gay community are this is a part of their culture. All right, they like older men like little boys. All right, trans people have to find a way to make money because they can't work at regular jobs due to possible discrimination. So they engage in this type of work, and this is how they meet in bathhouses, and this is how they able to cope. This is how young boys, 15, 16, 17, have to adjust and meet partners. I know. This is a part of their culture. That's number one. Number two, you have a bunch of women that have to get their binds fucking fixed. I told you.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
A lot of women ain't cutting the mustard. A lot of women ain't making money. A lot of them got a side hustle. They got to have side gigs. What's a greater side gig than selling a little pussy?
I looked at it as I have an ATM between my legs, and I'm just using it. All I got to do is put my card in, and that's it. And put the PIN number, and boom, money just comes right out.
It's a great side gig. They not cutting the mustard with their jobs. Everybody's got to have a second and third and fourth job at this point. So it's a great side gig. Girls got OnlyFans and girls, so they're basically trying to take the shame away from this. Now, I know you guys probably vehemently disagree with this, and you would hope to establish a society based under God, indivisible, under the Lord Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints. I know you guys wish that is going to come back, and Christ is going to come part the clouds down on a white horse with wings, holding a thunderbolt. It ain't going to happen anytime soon. It ain't going to happen. Maybe he does come back, but it ain't going to happen. What we're going to see happen is this. This is what we're going to see happen more often than not. So this is predictable for me, but I'm not on the side of hope. I'm on the side of this is going to happen. And as you see right here, this just in, Illinois State Rep. His name is Will Guzzardi. Shout out to Will Guzzardi. There he is right there. All right. And then another representative, State Senator Selena Villanueva. All right, shout out to Via Nueva. There she is right there. Introduced the bill to decriminalize sex work. The bill would remove criminal penalties for adults engaging in sex work, remove arrest and conviction records for sex workers, and establish a sex workers' Bill of Rights. New world order. All right, I've been telling you this is coming down the pike. It's going to start with the liberal states. It's going to take a while, but this, bills like this spread like wildfire. All right, once the major liberal states get onto it, then you will have the minor liberal states and cities and municipalities adjust to it. And then, then it's just a battle between when the red states are going to adopt it, but it's going to be a slow adaptation for the red states. All right, so Wyoming's going to be very slow on it. Montana, Idaho, they're going to be very slow on it. They're not going to catch up relatively soon. They're going to turn their watch back to 1920, the same thing you do when you go to Canada. All right, you turn your watch back 45 years when you stop into Canada. All right, so here it is right here. Illinois legislators proposed a bill to decriminalize prostitution, citing safety and access to services. The legislation is backed by the sex worker advisory group, SWAG. The sex worker advisory group. All right. Hey, listen, it is what it is.
What kind of fuck you give me?
Supporters argue criminalization makes sex work more dangerous for those involved. Tell me something I didn't know. All right. Everybody's been saying that for a long time. And this is just a bill. It doesn't become a law. All right. We don't know if it will become a law. And it says supporters of the bill argue that criminalization of consensual sex work creates unsafe conditions and limits access to essential services like health care. Lawmakers backing the proposal say legislation would provide greater protections and resources for those involved. What's next? The bill will go through the legislative process in the Illinois General Assembly, where it is expected to spark debate. Advocates and lawmakers supporting the proposal will likely continue to emphasize its potential to improve safety and access to services for sex workers. Keep repeating that. But this has actually been argued before about 100 years ago. All right. And the argument lost and they illegalized it because they were like the houses of prostitution are making it so these women don't have access to services and testing and stuff like this. Now they're moving the needle back some 100 years later saying, history is interesting, isn't it? New world order. Now they're moving it back over to the other side. They're like, oh, we'll be safer if it's legal. All right, so there you go right there. Good luck out here, gentlemen, and let's see what your future wives are doing because that's what they're doing. That's Doom and Gloom CGA. Doom and Gloom CGA. I essentially call what that is dating. All right, so that's just the dating industry, legalizing the dating industry. Oh, boy, we got Straggle and Sniggle coming up. And, boy, I got something for the men who like mastodons. For the men who like mastodons, tune in here in the next couple of minutes. You're going to see some rump shaking coming up for those boys who like the girls with the big old butts. All right, shout out to our brother here. Oh, Mr. Robert Wilcox says, following up to send the cigars, did you email me? I know you might have emailed me on my computer, my website. That is not a good way to contact me. So CoachGregAdams@gmail.com. CoachGregAdams@gmail.com. Please email me there. All right, that would be a better way. There's always a better way. Always a better way. That's crazy, huh? All right. The girls like the big old butts. I got a big old butt for you coming up now, man. This is crazy. It's actually, I don't know if you can recognize it as a butt, but it's pretty big. And the black men are watching right now. Black men are like, I can't wait, coach. Black men are starving right now.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother.
Shout out to George, says there's nothing against having wives and concubines, but you are a trick and a man whore. And if you don't repent, you will be in Hades in the underworld. Shout out to you right there. New world. He says, I'm a trick and I'm a man whore and I'm going to be in Hades. Shout out to you. Well, I'll save you a seat. All right. I'll save you 2 seats. All right. Because I know your mama going to be there. She used to sell pussy too. I know she used to because I bought some from her too. All right. So I'll save you a seat and I'll save your mama a seat. That's the best that I can do. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. It's one of those things that people tell me I'm going to be in hell, and I have several seats saved. I'll meet you there. All right. Yeah. I will meet you there, Ninja. I will have a reservation for 2 or 3 by the time you get there. You might meet me there, you bitch ass, and then just save me a seat. Front motherfucking row. All right. I don't know what to tell you. All right. You always trying to put me in hell for all that sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. I'll save your mama a seat. All right. Shout out to you. And shout out to the Resurrected Sip Enforcer says, CGA, why is it that my baby mama terrorist Pookie boyfriend can try to check me and she can use her boyfriend to threaten to harm me, but if I threaten them back, it's documented. That's how they work. He says, I could have had my custody took. I looked perjury, and most judges don't charge for perjury in the family court. Yeah, I told you that. There's no perjury in the family court. You're not going to have a perjury trial. You guys have to realize what perjury is. They don't just be like perjury to the jail you go. They don't do that. They have to charge you with perjury, and then you have to have a trial. I have never heard a trial for perjury in the family court. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't one. I just have never heard that being the case. So it's not like, oh, you perjured yourself, you go to jail 13 years. All right. It doesn't happen, and it doesn't exist. The family court is an administrative court. It is not a constitutional court. They have their own rules. I've never seen that carried out. So never really fear you're going to go to jail for perjury in the family court. All the family court is full of lies. Everybody's in there lying. If they wanted to charge people with perjury in the family court, everybody would be in jail. But at the end of the day, you got to play chess, not checkers. You got to play chess, not checkers, man. A lot of you guys, let me tell you, man, I want you to listen to me. Because people be like, Coach, don't give us solutions. I give you plenty of solutions and many of gems. Listen to me. I want you to listen to me. When I tell you about how to do things and operate, sometimes the one thing you guys do is hear my information and then you run out and then you start like, giving the playbook to the woman and you don't realize it. So I'll tell a guy, hey, if you just get the information and do this and do that, and y'all run right out and get in her face, bitch, give me your baby daddy's name. And I'm like, now, if you want to learn further how to move chess moves, I can't just do shows on this and tell y'all how to move and operate. You guys got to be a little bit more cunning. You got to learn how to make your moves. This is a game of strategy. This is not a competition, motherfucker. Don't run out and just run out and play your motherfucking hand right in front of them using your emotions and threats. Your game is played with legal filings. Do not run out there to strong arm people, bully people, yell at people, get revenge. Like, don't do any of these things when you're going against the baby mama. The baby mama is well equipped. She's been playing chess against you before you impregnated her. She's already made moves and she's already got you surrounded. And then she's waiting for you to crash out and be emotional and confront so she can build a wall. But you guys don't do it. So you run out here and make yourself look stupid. And then you lose because they're already ready for you. I have this segment coming up about women thoughting and plotting on why. And this isn't a negative. This is just how they perceive relationships versus how men perceive relationships. All right. And we're going to show you that women are very, very in tuned to set things up before you are even aware that you need to set up your pieces. Okay. My man Owen said, you're years behind. This is a fact. Men are years behind women when it comes to all of these things. Then you jump on here on my show and you're like, what we need to do, coach? We need to go to the courts. We need to do this. And we need to tell the women. I'm like, you're 30 years behind. Everything I'm telling you is you're like 10, 20, 30 years behind. Like, you're just getting awareness now listening to me on some shit that you should have known 10, 15 years ago. Your father should have told you 25, 30 years ago. Your grandfather should have told you 40 years ago. You guys are behind. So it requires you to be strategic, not aggressive. All right. So this is how men get hemmed up. Men get hemmed up trying to jump out there and run out there. Bitch, I know what you're doing. No, okay. She like, nice. You finally figured it out. Now, what are you going to do with it? You're nothing. Shout out to our brother, Tim H. Appreciate all that you've done. He says, I bought and read your first book. He says, got monetized on 2 YouTube channels. Back into investing in stocks and recovering from a divorce when I was 24 years old. You haven't missed. Shout out to Tim H. I can't pronounce your name, but shout out to you. He is taking the information and using it as a shield and building upon it. That's how you win out here. That's how you win. Congratulations, sir, on your 2 monetized YouTube channels and recovering from your divorce. TWP, when I'm hooping with the YNs, I'm shooting threes in mid-range and the occasional turnaround jumper, but trying to finish in traffic, I think not. I'm 35 years old. I let the YNs do all that bullshit. Yeah, man, I ain't trying to be no slasher. All right, take some jumpers, mid-range. Take what's easy. Take what's easy. Leo K, good morning, coach. I just realized that Trump's inauguration is on MLK Day, January 20th. It is. Ninjas and pro-blacks are going to be irate when they figure it out. Yes, they are. They're going to be pissed. And so is the NCAA championship. It's all on one day. What an exciting day coming up on January 20th. Pro-blacks are going to be irate. Ohio State's going to win the NCAA championship. It's going to be all around great day in Columbus, Ohio. All right, it's going to be a fantastic time. All right, let's see here. We got one more, and then we'll get to Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Thank you for this, but I'm trying to get you guys prepped. But we're years behind this game on manipulation, way behind. And we have Kaylin in Rusted Junk. Kaylin says, what's up, coach? Do you think that most men have to be beta husbands because their wives don't truly trust them? He says men can't be dominant as husbands, even though that's what women truly want and need. We can't keep marrying them as if we trust them. I mean, you got to tell the men that. I mean, listen, you got to tell the men this. We're preaching to the choir here. You got to tell the men that are out there just desperate for a piece of pussy, desperate to get married, to have sex. Like, this has nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with us. All right, those men are be gladly to get married. You got to talk to them. You can't talk to us and say, we shouldn't marry these hoes. That's them, all right? This is not the group. Those guys do not listen to me, and they never will. So as long as beta males be happy to have a wife.
And that's you.
As long as they're under religious programming, you got to talk to them. Those are the guys getting married overwhelmingly. Those are the guys that women target to get married. It ain't us. Some of us are in here like this, and some of us are reformed beta males, and some of us are like, okay, we just going to go our own way since I don't have the skills to be truly dominant and be alpha, so you just don't become a bitch. You become monk mode. But most of the other guys ain't listening. He preaching to the choir, all right? So you got to go out there and tell them, and I'm going to tell you, you wasting your breath. They are going to still get married, bro. They still going to be married. And they still going to be like, not my girl, coach. Okay. And Rusted Junk, good morning to the coach and the coach gang. When you have a moment, check out the 2 posts I dropped on locals. I think they might be good topics for the money mindset. And if you gentlemen are not in the money mindset because you're chasing fat women for their tax returns, you're missing out, you Mitches. Now is the time to switch tracks, because things are going to get hairy in the next couple of months. Shout out to you right there. I'll check those out. I normally check those out in the afternoon or the evening. Check in on locals to see if there's some great stories. All right, but shout out to you. Do me a favor, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button and join the Money Mindset. The Money Mindset 2025. Join us if you are looking to elevate your mindset to the next level and get your financial information and game back to where it needs to be. This is the Blue Chip Mindset on steroids. We have 80 plus episodes from the last 2 years that you missed available via playback. You can get all of those episodes. Also, every live stream on Sunday night with all of our great contributors with subjects, cryptocurrency, investment, Money 101, Money 201. Also, if you're looking to become a social media content creator, this is the group for you. 2 times a month, we give you content creator information about how much money you can make via content creation. What are the most popular forms of content creation coming forward in the next few years, and how you can capitalize on an opportunity to be a content creator. Join patreon.com/Coach Greg Adams to find the Money Mindset link. Let's get our Blue Chip Mindset on. The window is still open.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Straggle and Sniggle Theater. All right, we got some straggles and we got some sniggles coming up here. We got Big Booty coming up here. Brothers, we got one for you. Put your eyes on this screen. Feast your eyes on this piece of work right here. Yes, look at it. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's take you to it right here. She's 700 pounds. Oh, my goodness, right here. Look at this, guys.
Oh, the humanity.
Look at that. I know y'all loving it right here. Even the comment section says somewhere there's a black man who does not play about her. Wowzers, what is this? Man almighty.
What the hell?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. No
look
way.
at them cankles. Oh, my God. Wowzers, look at them hips right there. Jesus.
Hey, yo, chill, son.
Oh,
yo.
no. Look at, man. Hello. That is what? That's wicked right there. I have never, ever, ever been with a woman like that. That looks, man, how did you find it? You pour flour around her legs and get the wet spot. Oh, man, there's hey, hello. Wow, and look at her cankles, man. This is a disaster. All right, goodness gracious, there's a nigga going wild and crazy about this right now. Look at how wide that is. Feast your eyes. It says must be jelly because jam don't shake. All right. Wow, and hey, man, that comedian nailed it the other day when she said, if it wasn't for black men, all right, these women would think they're ugly, man. And of course, you didn't have a choice out there, man. That is crazy, man. What?
Oh,
and look at her trying to walk. Oh, my goodness. She can't even walk, and she out here thirst trapping. She out here thirst trapping, and she can't even walk. Oh, my goodness. There's a nigga that, look at how unbelievable, man. That is.
Oh, the humanity.
Black men, I know that's you.
And that's you.
Man. All right, she can't even walk. And she couldn't even get in between the bathtub and the toilet. How does she take a shit? That's what I want to know. How does she even sit on that little toilet? There ain't no way she can sit that on the toilet. All right, look at the toilet right behind her. That toilet, that ceramic is going to get crushed out there, man. Damn. All right, that little toilet is no chance, has no chance against that rear end. And she is out here thirst trapping. So you already know some starving ass ninjas in her comment section. Yeah, I don't know how you would wipe and clean that thing. Oh my goodness. Okay. We have another one here. We have a tall pog. All right, tall pog right here. She says she has a white boyfriend. However, there's a caveat. Let's go to the caveat.
How tall are you?
6'2".
As a tall woman, is dating easy for you?
Yeah, because I like black guys. But look, right now my boyfriend's white, so if my boyfriend's watching this, I love you, Pookie.
What's the difference between the black and the white when it comes on to tall women?
Their humor. Black guys are funny. Naturally.
But your boyfriend isn't.
He is funny. That's why I took a little detour.
So you've already been to the dark side.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother.
You think this is your long-term life partner forever, or do you think like some black guy is gonna get in the mix down the road?
Well, he met my family, but I got a place in my heart for some black boys.
In these streets.
Once you go black, and you never go back. All right. Apparently her white boyfriend is Pookie, which tells a lot about him. All right, but
in these streets.
All right, he definitely is a black white guy, a wigger.
Yeah, I got time, girl.
All right, the white guy definitely is a wigger.
Yeah, I got time, girl.
All right, if his name is Pookie. All right, but she loves Pookie. We tell you about Pookie-philia out here. All right, but she got a white boy, probably a white boy that acts black. But I don't think it's gonna last, sir. She's got a special heart for the black guys in there. She definitely likes that right there.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
All right, that's a tall drink of water too. But she definitely been ran through. You could already tell. All right, she want the BBC, and her friend is absolutely mortified out there. Look at that little gymnast piece of work right there. So she's 6'2", and the other girl is below 5'2". All right, and they're out there half naked. All right, good luck out here, gentlemen. All right, your future wives, and you can already tell they young. Look at not the Air Force Ones, not the bricks. Look at these dusty ass bricks. All right. Anyway, her friend is mortified right now, right? Listening to this shit.
So if I said to you,
and there's her friend sucking on a vape dick. All right, of course.
Screw the interview. Let's go all. Let's have some fun. Would you be down or not?
I would probably say you're not 6'4".
What does the height have to do with it?
He's not 6'4". He's 6'2". He's clearly really standing right there neck and neck to her. And he's not 2 inches taller. Oh, my God. All right, she like basketball players, that's for sure.
Height matters. I got good genes. You got to have good genes, too.
How tall are you?
6'2".
All right, there you go right there. All right, she definitely looking. All right, shout out to her right there. She knows what she wants. At least she's a white girl that knows what she wants. All right, anyway. We have an update here. Apparently a 60, how old is she? She is 76 years old. Apparently this is supposedly true. I'm not sure if it's true. She has posted this. A 76-year-old great-grandma ends up pregnant. All right, so let's go ahead and play the video here.
What? What?
Why did they put the... Okay, I'm going to just continue here. All right, there it is right there. 76-year-old great-grandmother is pregnant.
She looking cute, though. The baby got her just the peachy. July. We're gonna have a baby shower. I don't know who's gonna raise it. So we're gonna find out.
She ain't even got no teeth. Oh, you brothers.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
All right, who nutted in great-grandmama? Who nutted in great-grandma? You ninjas are a disgrace.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
There's a young ninja. Yeah, there is a young black man running around Houston who nutted in this woman. And she's still a freak, too. Shout out to her, man. She had this ninja in that warm embrace.
Wrap you in my warm embrace.
Indeed.
And I make it last forever, babe. I catch a glimpse of heaven when you let me wrap you in.
She ain't got no front teeth. It's a nothing. Look at them teeth. Oh, my goodness. She gave that ninja a good Hummer. And he nutted in it, too.
On this nice Sunday. Betty move real fast. Put no clothes on. Got the house.
Who?
Get it, Betty. Get it, Betty. Get it, Betty.
Why we watching her put her pants on? That's terrible.
Chicken.
I don't make bacon. What you do? Fuck.
Betty, which way we go?
Oh, y'all ready, ready don't start it. I asked 3 times.
Yeah, grandma got that juice.
Oh, no. Is this the guy? Oh, man. What is going on? Is this Mississippi? Atlanta. I told you Atlanta country. I told you Atlanta is country. This is somewhere in the outskirts of Atlanta. I told you they country as fuck out here. All right, this is Atlanta. What?
Okay, if I go and get it, I don't want no goddamn body claim.
All right, man, boy, I cannot understand what these ninjas are talking about. All right, I didn't understand very much in this story here. These people definitely, boy, I tell you, man, you will realize education has been an important thing. All right. Having an education clears up a lot of bullshit, even though we still ignorant out here. All right, but these are some country Bamas. All right, these are Bamas. All right, but she out there, who is smashing this, bro?
Betty move real fast. No clothes on trying to get out. All
right, Betty out. Look at Betty. Somebody smashed that, and that was what it looked like after you finished nutting in her. I mean, we are down bad. All right, good luck out here. She probably already had 15 kids. Last one, Straggle Sniggle Theater. Apparently, a French woman reportedly divorced her millionaire husband, then was scammed out of $850,000 by a fake Brad Pitt. The scammer used AI-generated photos and claimed he was undergoing cancer treatments and couldn't access his money due to his divorce, right, to Angelina Jolie. She realized that upon seeing the real Brad Pitt with his girlfriend on the news, oh, hell no. So she divorced her millionaire husband, took his money, and got scammed out of nearly $1 million of it. Here are some of the photos, allegedly, in this case, of the ex-wife who got scammed out of her divorce proceedings, thinking she was going to be with Brad Pitt. Hey, it happens out here, brother.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right, you stupid. All right, stupid.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right. Women and money don't mix like two dicks and no bitch. You find yourself in serious shit.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right, that's crazy. All right, look at these photos. All right, Annie, and I love you. Like, really? How did you pull? Hey, man, sometimes, man, most times when a woman divorced you, she did you a favor. You didn't realize who was holding you back the entire time. That's Straggle and Sniggle Theater.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
She did him a favor. All right. Unfortunately, he had to lose $850,000 to prove that his ex-wife was the idiot all along. All right. So she could get with Brad Pitt and get finessed. Shout out to Rusted Junk out here. Let them know. Rusted Junk. They not playing with a full deck. And she be blaming him. I'm blaming you. You ruined my life. Shout out to our brother here. Did I get some of these brothers? Did I get Leo K? Yeah, Leo K was reminding us that Trump's going to get in on Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to Jamie, says, you didn't read my $2,000 super chat yesterday. Can I get a refund? Oh, nigga, please. All right. New Negro, order. Please. All right, hold on for a second. Let me see if you sent one. All right, I know you didn't send one. I don't even have to look. All right, I don't even have to look, but shout out to you. Refunding your $2,000 super chat. Was it a mistake? All right, the Real Fit Styles. Shout out to you. Since 2018, 2019. Hey, coach, legalizing sex work will also allow the states to tax them. It's the perfect timing since they all get paid electronically now. It's a total setup. And we all know that the government loves to set people up. We're going to do you a favor. As Ronald Reagan say, the words you fear is, hi, I'm from the government. I'm here to help. They're never really trying to help you. I mean, I get it. They're trying to help you a little bit, but they're always going to get their crumbs back. Like, they'll give you crumbs and they're always going to get a bag back. So that's how they work. You have to understand that. People are always trying to ask someone for help, and they think people are just going to give you money and then not expect anything back. There's always an expectation back. If I help you, so you're going to do this for me. Okay, so that's going to be a situation where they're going to be able to set up and tax them. And if you don't know, There was a whole country that actually made this happen. I believe it was, I reported on this, that they figured out how to, what country was it? Was it Denmark? Might have been Denmark. Where they figured out, okay, we're just going to set up a structure to legalize it, but it'll have rules and regulations, and thus we'll be able to get our tax cut from you selling that slit between your legs, sell that clam. All right, so yeah, it is going to be a system where they're going to be able to do it and intervene in tax, and then it's obvious. It's crazy. Belgium was what? What did I say? Denmark? Belgium. It was Belgium. They basically said, hey, we'll legalize it. We're going to set it up, and the women are going to pay their cut. The women always got to give their cut. Which one was it? It was Belgium. Okay, yes. Women always going to have to pay a pimp. They're always going to have to pay a pimp. So you can pay a real pimp. You can pay a government pimp. Somebody always had a handout when they selling that punani. Always. So women ain't going to be able to freely sell that puss. So if you want, good testing, and you want your health to be considered, and you want safety and protection, and you're never going to keep all the resources, and you're going to sell a cut by selling that cut. Yes, indeed. And it's the oldest profession, so why not? I need a cut too. No government aid Mitches are paying CGA money to wish death upon him now. The Western male is truly down bad. At least he promoted himself from a hate watcher to a hate player. All right, shout out to him for donating to hate on me, as if it's going to make me lose sleep. I bet his low T levels, his T levels is lower than the streamer you showed and prefers older women. Play the Mitch alarm for him. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, man. Good Lord, have mercy. Bitches are donating, telling me I'm a what? Hey, man. Hey, I'm not a moral person here. All right, do not use me as a moral compass. Do not use me as a moral compass. I am an amoral individual. I'm not here for morality. At least I admit it. I'm going to admit that. Do not follow my moral structure. Now, the funny thing is, I'm really a nice guy. I have rules and regulations that'll keep you alive. I don't come up here saying I'm moral. No. All right. I do dirt out here. And if there is a hell, I'll save you a seat. I'm not scared of shit like that, though. Like, you're scared to live, but I ain't. Shout out to Mr. Inquisitive with the co-sponsorship already this morning.
I'm rich, bitch.
Mr. Inquisitive, coach, I just went double platinum for a song that I produced. You got your first royalty check coming in next month. Thank you for your $1 million saving game, your $1 million saving game, and your daily wisdom. What's the most money someone has given you on the show? He says, I want to top it when the check comes in next month. We know for sure that $1,000 at one donation was, we had $1,000 for one donation. We've had that once or twice. But there have been some guys that have given and donated thousands of dollars, all right, themselves. All right, and I wish I could name all of them, but Sniggle is the sauce at one point had donated, and he doesn't donate much anymore because he likes the super chat, and he doesn't donate too much off the books. All right, there's been people that have given thousands. All right, really. All right, and I appreciate them winners out here, man. Shout out to them. But yeah, just recently, that was about a month or two ago, our brother from Detroit came in with $1,000. But yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good. Shout out to the big ballers out here, the big money mindset people. And I would have to also acknowledge there have been people on the money mindset since the beginning, or they've been on for a year. And that is in the neighborhood of close to, if they've been on locals and money mindset, that's $1,000, 100%. But yeah, man, some people like the super chat and they don't like to donate off the other site, so they don't donate. And I noticed it too, because as soon as I put super chats available on other channels when they're monetized, they super chat immediately. But I don't see them chat. I don't see them send anything much more anymore. All right, on the off sites. it's what it is, you know. It's what it is. I don't fault them for that. And shout out to the brother right here sending, you know, and by the way, let me just say this. There's people that donate every stream for like 2 years. $2, $5. So add that up. There are some people that have made contributions in the small level, like $1, $2, $5, and they've been doing that every stream for the last couple years. And add that up. Shout out to them. So sometimes they don't get as much recognition. They don't get as much recognition when it comes to the number because they are small donators, but their donations add up. This is why when people say, hey, don't read the small donations, some people make their impact with the small donations. All right. They'll be doing $5 here and they'll do 2 or 3 each stream for a year straight. And that shit adds up fast. And they don't even get to hear this. But they are certainly big contributors to today's show. So for all of those donators who donate on a daily basis, all right, and donate the small amounts, and they've been doing it every stream, you hear their names. It's the same names all the time. All right. And most of them, that's why I always tell you, only 1 or 2% of my audience are donators. People don't believe that, but it's the truth. All right. By the time you start doing that, and shout out to the people who bought the books, and some people buy the courses. Yeah, it's not the large percent of my audience. Most of my audience does not trying to shame you. But let me say this. For the people who donate every day on small amounts, you guys deserve this.
I'm rich, bitch.
You guys deserve your recognition too. NGN, no government name. He does that 3 or 4 chats every stream. All right. That's 20 times. All right. But most people, 95% or better of my audience has probably never sent me a dime. Not to say you have to, but just to put it in perspective. All right. Yep. Shout out to Daniel McGee, Albert Wester. There's a lot of brothers, man. You hear the same names all the time, every show. Every show is pretty much the same group of people. Some people do what you can. I appreciate you, but that tells you how much I'm missing out. I'm missing out, but I'm winning too. But I miss out big because I don't have monetization in Super Chat. Most of you guys aren't contributors to any channels. You contribute by watching and learning. That's a contribution. And so, you know, you anticipate that YouTube is supposed to fill that void. So you're like, I ain't supposed to help. I watch every day. I'm good. But, you know, that's where it is. That's where it is. Shout out to you, man. And I ain't trying to pressure y'all. I'm just saying. We still do good. But shout out to the people that contribute on a daily basis. And if you wanted to know,
I'm rich, bitch.
shout out to our brother here. And it is the no government name. The NWO is mad that people are leaving TikTok for another Chinese app. It seems that people would rather give their personal data to China than Western government. What are your thoughts? We're going to talk about that, I think, tonight. That apparently people are going to another app. They're going to another app that is TikTok-like, even though it is already proven that these apps are Chinese-based. Apparently, they don't give a damn. Here's another great big donor. Pause. It is Roderick Miller. All right, this is another one. He's giving $500 at a time, maybe close to $1,000. He's a big time donor. Roderick Miller. He says Memphis represent 3 passports in. All right, free agent lifestyle for life. All books, money mindset, etc. Supporting this bro, Roderick Miller. I mean, there's so many, man. You know, you guys need a whole show dedicated to you. The guys that have been massive contributors over the years, keeping this operation going. All right, you guys need a lot of recognition. Even when I rant on the brothers, they still support. Shout out to everybody, supporters all across the board. Appreciate it. It keeps the show going. Without it, you know, with the monetization, it would be crippling. So appreciate that. Now, we do have one more, and I'm going to get back to the show. Appreciate y'all. It is our brother here, Mr. Travolta. Fire show, coach. Shout out to that guy that said you're going to Hades. The funny thing is that his future wife will be there as well because she was probably out here selling punani out here in these streets at the JUCO.
Streets.
All right. Yes, he was. Your future wife will be there too, so I'll save her a seat. Shout out to Mr. Travolta. Okay. All right. These people think people are afraid of going to hell. All right. I live in hell. Okay. With that being said, it is. What is this segment? It's the evil world we live in? It is. Okay. So here we go right here. We're getting closer. It's the evil world we live in.
It's an evil world we live in.
All right. It says right here, this guy says in a Reddit post, my divorce really methed me up financially. Listen to this story right here. I always tell you, gentlemen, the proof is in the pudding. This guy says I separated. This is a woman. I separated from my husband at the end of 2023 when I got pregnant for 8 months and finalized our divorce last year. I lost my job after I gave birth to our daughter earlier last year and racked up $25,000 in credit card debt. Dropped out of school, leaving me with $13,000 in student loans, about $450 a month. I owe $12,000 on my car, which is $390 a month, and pay for my ex-husband's PC that I financed when we were together, among some other smaller payments. We also have a 3-year-old together, and I got full custody since we separated. I dropped over $10,000 on my attorney, and I'm still going to court and paying. He doesn't pay any child support. Of course, it was court ordered last year. Now it's about $950 a month. I took the divorce really hard and stressed. And the stress of finances made me freeze up, neglecting a lot of my responsibilities. I missed so many payments. I'm scared to even look at my credit score. She's scarred. It's really hard to work because daycare for my 2 children is roughly $2,400 a month. It makes more sense for me to find flexible work from home. Is there any way for me to come back from this, or am I royally fucked? All right. Now, this is a woman. When I tell you there's a restock fee, when I tell you divorce is really hard on people financially, women specifically, they suffer long-term from a divorce. Now, I have to ask you this. Wouldn't it have been better to make them a fucking sandwich? I mean, that's...
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
Wouldn't it have been easier to listen and shut your mouth? All right, I'm just asking.
Silence, you fool.
It would have been just easier to get with the program. All because you wanted to prove a point. Remember when I said, do you want to win or do you want to be right? Well, apparently you wanted to be right and you lost. All right, that's what happened. It would have been easier for you to shut the fuck up and listen.
I cook, I suck, I shut the fuck up.
You would have won. Now you sitting up here with $11,000 in debt. Broke, all right? And you out here, basically, nobody going to want your broke ass.
Can't you get it through your thick skull that I'm broke? Dead, flat, stony, broke. I've got $3.85 in my purse.
Do you want to win or do you want to be right? All right, a lot of people want to be right, but they're going to take a L. All right, do you want to win or do you want to be right? I said that the other day, and it's the truth. You want it to be right. I'm sorry. Well, look at your life now. As Ice Cube said, bitch, look at you now. I mean, look at you now, man. Was it good now? Is it gravy? All right, you about to get finessed out here. Look at all this debt. Just rack it up. It is what it is. And we don't even know the entire story out here. We have another guy right here winning in this situation. It's an evil world we live in.
It's an evil world we live in.
This is, it says right here from the Hungry Platypus. My wife settled for me. Damn. Men are discovering, they're figuring it out. By the way, they've always figured it out, but they just now have a place to broadcast it. My wife, age 35, settled for me, age 44.
And that's you.
He said, this is a difficult situation, though perhaps rather simple. I found out my wife likely settled for me.
And that's you.
I know this is not uncommon. Of course it's not. But getting more concrete evidence of it is still gut-wrenching. I've been married to my wife for 8 years.
And that's you.
But no kids. She was previously married without kids. Marriage was short, but seemed intense. And particularly the divorce, where he left her and then quickly married another woman. Now, for context to this, My wife has been acting somewhat distant and cold to me for months.
And that's you.
My curiosity got the best of me, and I snooped in her journal. I know this is wrong to invade her thoughts, but what I read was pretty bad. Maybe I got what I deserved for invading her privacy.
And that's you.
Now, this is a lesson that I teach a lot of men. If you want to know the answer, remember, there's a phrase like this: be careful. Like, don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to. I often say, well, yeah, I mean, when you go and search for something, do not be surprised what you find out. Now, it might not be her cheating, but you're going to find out she doesn't respect or really like you. She's had second thoughts.
And that's you.
And you found out. Now, what are you going to do with this information? Because it's really heartbreaking to find out the woman you're sleeping with is your enemy. You've been sleeping with the enemy. Now, a lot of people don't know what to do. They get stuck. They try to work it out. And you really just figure out you got played and finessed. I talked about this yesterday. The woman that marries you, she really didn't want you initially. She just kind of settled for you. She kind of found out, oh, okay, I got his ass on the hook. I'm ready to get married. Okay, that's you.
And that's you.
It happens all the time, guys. All right. Now, there's not a complete story here, but we're going to read one or two things here. Maybe the first one first. She was pining over some guy that is an instructor in a course that she is taking, talking about him and how she has such feelings for him. It almost sounded like a schoolgirl crush. From the journal, it didn't seem like anything had happened physically, just that she was very much into him. Now, this piece is bad, but maybe, it says, now this piece is bad, but maybe overcomeable, it says. The second part is what brings me to the forum. She mentioned in her journal that she hadn't had such feelings since her first ex-husband. She even wrote his name out, like high school. No mention of me anywhere in there other than that her supposed frustration with not being content with what she had. And there's more story there from the screenshot. I don't have the entire story, but yeah, these are the things that really breaks the man down, the ego. It doesn't even have to be a woman cheating. I've said for a long time, women can cheat on their wives, and the wives can overlook it to an extent. A woman sends a text message to a man, and y'all didn't just crumple up in fetal position in the corner. She don't even have proof that he did anything, and he ready to crash out. All right, all because she wrote his name over and over again in her journal. And that's enough for a man to really crash out. But since the man thinks he is loved by the woman, he thinks that her words are true. I really love you. You're the best. Only for him to find out later on it's not true, and she settled for you.
And that's you.
Much of her motivation to marry you probably centers around her ex-husband finding a wife immediately, right? So it says it up here, where it is right here. It says right here, her previous marriage without kids was short but seemed intense, and that he left her and quickly married another woman. Yes, women will marry another man and vice versa if the next spouse moves on pretty quickly or you become a rebound. Yes, people do this, man. It's cruel. Relationships are cruel. People are using people all the time. And she realizes that, but what do I tell you? They do everything but leave. So she'll sit up under him. She'll stay married to him. She'll never show her hand. She'll just be distant and cold and have a dry pussy. And then he'll try to figure out why. She'll lack intimacy. She'll lack effort. She'll tell him that if he does more and more things, she'll get a wet pussy. All right. And the real bottom line is,
and that's you.
That's why she married you right there. That's the bottom line. Now, what are you going to do with this information? What are you going to do? Are you going to walk out? Are you going to take that L? Are you going to pack your bags? Are you going to kick her out? Are you going to change the locks? Are you going to evict her? What are you going to do? Because you have to take action steps. We played a video yesterday from Dr. Deloney where we showed you men won't take action steps. They'll have all of this information and data, and he'll be going through it for years, and he won't share the information with somebody that can help him. He'll internalize it, and then he'll be sitting there playing the victim.
And that's you.
Instead of checking out. Like, instead of going, okay, let's just move on from here and then manning up and cover your balls. It's very hard for men to do. And I was married before, and I saw shit, and I was like, it takes man a while to be like, fuck it, I'm going to stand on my own too. All right, and then we come out and play the victim as a result. It's an evil world we live in. We got more evil here.
It's an evil world we live in.
Here we go. Another situation here. This guy is in a marriage that's not working. And he went to marriage therapy. And he says marriage therapy does not work. I've been telling you that for years. Marriage therapy is a scam. The psychological institution alone is a scam. All right, that shit, they don't cure nothing. All right, they don't help anything. They cure zero. All right, we already know that. But marriage therapy is a joke. Seeing that if the marriage therapy is going the wife's way, she'll stay in there and let you get roasted. But if the marriage therapy is not going her way, she's going to fire the marriage therapist. All right, so here's this guy right here that found out it didn't work.
My marriage was falling apart. I was required by her to go to a therapist. If I did not go, she was going to file for divorce immediately. I found a therapist local in my area, and I went. We talk about my marriage. Second week was more the same, but at the end of the second session, the therapist was like, next week I would like to see your wife and you together. She's like, I will absolutely come with you. She's got a lot to get off her chest, right? The third session, the therapist is asking her questions. He's not asking me anything. He's like, well, why do you think your husband has a problem with your friends? She goes, I work with these people. Once we're off the clock, we go out. When I call him and tell him I'm not going to be home to 2:30, he gets upset. I don't appreciate that. And he's like, you can kind of see his point. You are a married woman. And you can see the steam coming out of her ears. And every other thing that he was talking to her about, he was basically taking my side. The session ends, we're walking out in the parking lot. She goes, I don't know where you found him. He's a quack. I'm not coming back here again. You probably know this guy somehow. And this was a setup. The marriage was officially over 5 weeks later. When my marriage was falling apart.
All right, you will find that this is common, that the last straw is the therapy. That's one of the last straws, because what will happen is you realize you're at the point of no return. Obviously, he had a wife that was...
I'm going to the streets. End of story.
All right, and so what will happen is if your wife starts doing this, this is an ultimate level of disrespect, but this is where your relationship or marriage is going to come to a head. What's going to happen is if sounds like the wife was going to girls' nights out and outside, she was doing things that she shouldn't be doing. If you're coming home at 2:30, that insinuates you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, because the clubs close at 2 in most places. Some places at midnight, some in podunk towns 10:30. There's no reason you should be coming home as a married woman at 2:30, especially a mother of somebody's kids. And that goes for the husbands too. You shouldn't be coming home at 2:30. If you're coming home at 2:30, you're doing something you're not supposed to do. So what's going to happen is when you confront her, which it sounds like he did, she's going to call him controlling and insecure. You're controlling and insecure, and she might even say, you ain't my daddy. Okay, so now you have a problem. If she doesn't say, yeah, you're right, and she uses any shaming language, controlling, insecure, you're forcing me to cheat, you're lying, you're just doing this, and then says you're not my daddy, you fucked. The marriage is over at that point. Just call it over. It's a wrap. If the husband is doing this, if the wife is doing it, it's over. All right, there's no rescuing it at this point. Now she's using the marriage therapy. She's the one who wanted it because she knows that marriage therapists, male, are usually simps, and females are usually going to have own group preference. So she's like, yeah, let's go to marriage therapy. Come on. All right, take you on there. She was like, I'm going to win that battle because most likely we're going to get what I want. When it didn't go her way, she immediately said, I'm not going to participate. Now, normally men are in that seat. So normally if it ain't going the men's way and he wants to quit, they're going to be like, see, he don't want to work on the marriage. So this is why marriage therapy is a joke, okay? It's a joke. Most of these people are quacks. Most of them got motherfucking online degrees from University of Phoenix, and most of them end up in divorce too. All right, the vast majority of these marriage therapists are fucking quacks. All right, and they accomplish absolutely nothing. So, yeah, I would say if you're looking to heal your marriage therapy ain't going to heal it. It's probably going to open the fucking scab a little bit wider. You're going to realize who's trying to get one over on you or not. And if you go to marriage therapy long-term, slap yourself. We've been in marriage counseling for 12 years, 5 years, 2 years. You're an idiot, all right? You might as well have just left. All right, if you need a fucking goofball with a psychology degree from the University of Phoenix in DeVry to keep your marriage on the fucking track, you're a loser, okay? You're a loser, all right? You can't do better in life. You're scared and you settled. All right. You scared or you settled. But always interview the marriage counselor. Like, what people don't do is when they go to counseling, one of the biggest mistakes when you go to counseling is assuming those degrees and letters behind their name mean something. It means nothing. As far as I'm fucking concerned, I'm CGA. That shit don't mean nothing. If you don't have CGA on your last name, it don't mean shit. And I got a master's degree. Fuck y'all. All right. So what you don't do is you assume these people are appointed authority and you don't ask them questions. You don't ask them questions. They just sit up in front of you like, here, answer these 100 questions. Bitch, I got 100 questions for you. All right. I got 100 questions for you. You guys don't go in there and question the therapist. You don't go in there and question the doctor. Where you get your degree from? Give me your transcripts. I got 100 questions for you. Are you married? Do you fuck your husband and suck his dick? Like, come on, bro. I got questions for you. I ain't answering your fucking Scantron. All right. I'm hiring you. I ask you the questions. You don't ask me shit. All right. Before we do this, I ask you questions. Like, but you hire them and they give you fucking questions to answer. What kind of shit is this? You got to establish your territory. I'm paying you. I ask the fucking questions. Right off the rip. But y'all go in there. They're an authority and they got a fucking thing on their desk, a waterfall. And they got a degree. All right. I'll pay them to ask me questions. What? Hell no. I'm paying you. What the fuck is your name? How long is your last relationship? What the fuck do you know? Okay. I ask the questions first. I qualify you. All right. You don't qualify me. Come on, man. I'm trying to teach y'all to man up. What's your success rate? Are you even fucking married? Like, what the hell are you talking about? All right. Anyway. And then all these therapists be fat, goofy, lame ass, loser normies. I'm like, I've seen too many therapists in my life and counselors and psychology students. Most of them losers anyway. All right. So that's just me. Now, there are some good ones out there, but most of them fucking losers. All right. They already fat. If I see a therapist and they fat, I'm like, man, you got the wrong nigga. You got the wrong nigga. You can't be fat telling me how to function my life. All right. And if it's a woman, you automatically, I ain't listening to you. There's a 99% chance I ain't going to listen to shit you say. You ain't never had a dick swinging between your legs. Okay, you disqualified too. Now, that doesn't mean you can't give me information about life. But you ain't never walked around with a swinging dick. All right, disqualified. All right. All right, yeah, ain't nothing you can tell me. You ain't never been a man on this earth. All right, maybe I'll listen to something you got to say, but not very much. All right, but you fat and a woman, cooked already. All right, and don't not be in your 20s. All right, you're in your 20s and a therapist, you already ain't getting hired. Now combine all three. A woman in her 20s and fat, you fired. All right. Like, I ain't listening to nothing you say. You can offer me zero information. I can tell you what to do at this fucking point. And let me see your bank account while we looking at this. You got no money in there. Okay, shocker. $80,000 in student loan debt. Okay, this is going nowhere. I mean, come on, man. Why do y'all let people fuck with your life? All right, man, please. I ain't letting these people fuck with my life. I've disqualified 75% of therapists already. All right, so anyway. Do I have any more evil to report? Because it is evil. Yes, and they're a single mom automatically. No. All right, nope. I don't want to talk to this person. I think I have one more video. We got evil. Is this some? Let's see here.
The woman that's the most stunted in life is not the woman who had kids young. It's not the woman who didn't get married. It's not the woman who's never even been taken seriously, okay? It is the woman who had kids young, then went on to marry a man who is not the biological father of those children, preferably, especially if he has money, and he is pussy, okay? Meaning she can walk all over him, she can talk to him however she wants, she can get him to do anything. Like, she don't gotta worry about that man being psychologically or physically abusive, because she gonna get right at it before he ever can, okay? And the reason why this woman is so stunted is because she doesn't perceivably have to pay the cost for any of the decisions that she's made or that she is making. And because the man just so easily allows her to experience the reality that she believes she is deserving of, she doesn't really understand like how a normal, healthy man operates and what normal interactions socially look like. In her head, she thinks being a bully is like how you get to everything, okay? Whether it's like you don't hang out with certain girls because they're jealous of you instead of they just don't like you. The way you get men is to treat them bad, right? Because all of her correlations have been drawn from this fallacious standpoint that, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing me. And as long as I put me first, I'm selfish. Everything else will fall into place, okay? Just completely stunted. Emotionally, just immature. Psychologically immature. Just doesn't have enough of real world experience, give and take, to understand how it works conceptually.
What that mean?
All right. just like. I think I know what she talking about. I think I know what she was saying here. Where's my chicken box noise at? I can't find my chicken box. I'm trying to find that shit. All right, but oh, there it is. Yeah.
It's an evil world we live in.
That was I wish I could get them 2 minutes back. I know what she's saying here. Yeah, and she was serious too. Look at her. She was serious as a heart attack. Yeah, okay, I missed it. All right. She was cooking. She was cooking. It wasn't with hot fish grease. That was a slow burn. All right. That was definitely Japanese. But she was right. Now you gotta unpack some of the shit she was talking about. She was right. All right, there was a cook there. She was cooking a little bit. And I will fold her little ass up too with that lemon head. All right, I will fold that lemon head up. And them big ass lips. All right, them lips look like, I would like to see what them lips do. All right, but yeah, she was, it was a little bit, yeah. She basically said,
and that's you.
All right, that right there. All right, we'll give it to her. What's the sister's name? I'll give it to her. I'll see her after the show. Her name is Natalia. All right, Natalia. Yeah.
And that's you.
All right. Jesus. That was 2 minutes of woof. She could have made that about 35 seconds and cooked. All right, but yeah, I'll give her that. All right. It's an evil world we live in is over. All right.
It's an evil world we live in.
Yeah, she was right. She tried to put some motherfucking finger roll on it. She tried to put some mustard on it. And she didn't need no mustard. All right, she just needed a little bit of ketchup. It was okay. Man, she tried. All right, hey, shout out to our brother DG Seymour with the co-sponsorship. He says, blessing CGA. A ninja I know married a Latina, brought her back to California. Bitch told him she is leaving after she gets her green card. I tell the ninja She was never your wife. She tricked you for the papers, and not even Sky Daddy would call that a marriage. Was I harsh? No. No, we got to be harsh with men. We got to lay it down, man. I mean, when we out here doing shit, we know we're wrong. Yes, we got to be harsh. You got tricked for your papers. And the one thing we don't want to be out here is tricks. Like, men are trying to be trick averse. Now, remember, being tricked means you didn't get what you were intended to get. Now, if you got what you paid for, that's not tricking. That's just cutting off the scavengers. That's making it hard for the scavengers. Remember that. They'll call you a trick. That's not tricking. All right, I got what I paid for. All right. And I didn't overpay. I got what I got. All right. She's not here anymore. I nutted. She's gone in 3 minutes. I got what I paid for. But men like this get tricked out of their whole life. All right. And you didn't get what you paid for. You overpaid and got nothing back. Same as dating. You overpaid and got nothing back. That's tricking. All right. Yes, indeed. So you weren't harsh. He needed to know the truth. Shout out to SK in the building. Appreciate you, sir. Shout out to Jesus, Jesus from the morning show. Good morning, coach. Join the money mindset before the new year and love your content creation tips. I've been helping my brother make YouTube shorts. I'm wondering if I could use some of your rants to create shorts. I'll be linking them back to your page. Totally understand. If not, absolutely go ahead. And I can't really predict what you're going to pick out. But some of the rants could go viral. I'm telling you, man, my most viral moments I haven't put out on the internet. All right. My rants could make me go viral. All right. For sure. And one of these days, I'm going to have my editor go back and just be like, pick out all the rants. The rants against pro-blacks, the rants against Mitches, the rants. These things are my most winnable moments. I could just basically go back 2-3 years of live streams, clip out the rants, and y'all can go viral. Y'all can do that for me right now, okay? Y'all can do that for me right now if you wanted to build a YouTube page. All right, just clip out my rants. I haven't even clipped the rants out. All right, I clip out something where I'm trying to explain something and make sense. Clip out the rants. I guarantee you them shits go viral. And for the right or wrong reasons, right? I mean, for the most part, it's going to make people hate, all right? And that's what makes you go viral. By the way, if you want to go viral, just know you're going to get hate. Like, if you want viral moments, they're not going to be your supporters. These are going to people, most of the people in there are going to talk shit about it. They're going to talk shit about you. They're going to say you're wrong and you're racist and a womanist. And they're going to call you all kind of names. But those things would go viral. I guarantee it. So there you go right there. There's a blue chip. He said, what's holding you back? Time. All right. All right. I'm getting my health back. It's very time consuming to clip farm. All right. So, and it's costly. It's costly. People don't realize there's a cost to all that time. I would just be sitting here. I would have to reduce my live streaming significantly. All right. I would have to live stream 2 hours a day in the morning. I would have to reduce all of that because those it takes time to clip farm. It takes time to clip out shit. All right. Clip it out, set it up. We're talking about hours of content. Hours of content that you're going through, trying to find the rants and clipping them out. They're timestamped. Some of them aren't. Some of them you can use AI. It still takes time. So I would have to literally, he says AI can do it all for you, but they don't specifically clip what you want. Can't just depend on AI. You want to go in and get what you want. All right. So it all is time consuming, and I would have to reduce time. So I would just have to be like, all right, I'm going to stream 2 hours less a day, which is time for me. But just because it goes viral doesn't mean it's money. It's just people commenting. Okay. But yeah, man, that's what it is. And trust me, I got hours of repurposed content. Hours. I got years and years worth of repurposed content. Now, here's the other part about it. I'm not monetized, so there's no incentive for me to do it. All it would do is make me a name. More people would recognize me. Would it turn into money? I don't think so. Now, if I was monetized, I would be doing that, focusing on it, because it would be a point. I would be clipping it out, putting it out there, 1 million views, rant, goes viral, I would get paid from it. All right. You see why I just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not monetized on any of those platforms. So it doesn't help me. It just would Andrew Tate me. It would make me Andrew Tate. I would just be hated for free. But if I was monetized, I would be doing it. But I'm not monetized. So there's no point in me clipping shit out just for people can make me a polarizing figure and then get me attacked and get me more demonetized than I'm already am. So I just sit on it, waiting for that day. And I got years of repurposed content. Years. So, yeah, why would I do it if I'm not going to get paid from it? All right, anyway, there's always a method to the madness. There's always a method to the madness. Now, if I knew my viral content was going to go viral and get me paid, it would already motherfucking be done. All right, shout out to Jay Flo. He says, my wife called out sick because she didn't feel like going to her job today. She still doesn't and didn't cook me bacon. He says, don't get married. Well, she's sick. All right. You don't want to cook her bacon? All right there. All right. It says right here, she didn't cook me no bacon. Well, she's sick. All right. So I don't know what you want her to do. All right. You want her to cough on bacon? The pimped out platypus says men do not get married is stupid. Women don't actually like men. They like using us. Stop believing in fairy tales. Who believes that? Who believes that women don't like men? Shout out to you right there. All right. We've proven that over and over again. The Mitches aren't going to like that. Hey, shout out to you.
Straight jacket.
All right. But yeah, I'm going to tell you guys. And this is the next segment. We don't have the main event coming up. We're going to have a segment called Thoughtin' and Plottin', which this guy right here, who said it, the pimped out platypus. Guys, we're going to show you the difference between how women look at relationships and how men look at relationships. When you hear these clips that are going to come up and you hear these things you're going to hear, most men, you're going to be flabbergasted. Thank you to social media, ladies, because they're telling you the inner thinking of women and how they look at relationships. I'm telling you, they don't like you. They don't like you like that. Who believes that? I believe it. I believe it. Like when you look at how women view relationships and how they view men, the majority of women don't like the person they're with. They put up with you. They deal with you. They get something from you. Resource, children, sperm. It's something they're getting from you that keeps her around. You're a utility. You're a motherfucking pet wallet. You're something. This is a fact. This is a fact. Okay, and men and women aren't compatible to begin with. We're really, I guess we're the same species, but men and women are not compatible. We don't get along. We literally don't get along. And people are like, yes, I do. I get along with my girl. And a woman will say, I like men. I get along with men. Okay, I'll ask you, how many motherfucking men have you lived with? How many men have you been in relationships with? How many of those have worked? Very few. Mostly because of non-compatibility issues. All right, other than relationships and work, like where you have a friend and there's nothing in common, how many men, ladies, can you go outside with right now and talk to? How many men, ladies? Because you guys are claiming, not me, coach. How many men walk outside? Ladies, women literally walk outside all day avoiding men, avoiding eye contact, avoiding conversation, avoiding anything, avoiding any closeness. All day, they go outside with hats, big sunglasses, bitch-made faces. What is it? Resting bitch faces. Any man they see or approach them, they literally all day motherfucking dodging dudes all day. Trying to avoid conversation. The guy comes up and talk to you. Y'all bitches like, what? Trying to report you to the cops. Yep. Trying to claim sexual harassment. Thinking man gonna steal your pussy. Like all day. You walk out the fucking house. Now you're telling me, I'm trying to tell you, men and women aren't compatible. Women don't like men, but that's how you carry out your fucking day. And then he said right there, then they choose the bear. Then they choose the bear. All right, you want to choose a man or the bear? We chose the bear. All right, so they're literally telling you they don't like you. So when I say things like this, I'm not talking about one-on-one occasions. I'm not talking about when you feel good, the first 3 weeks of a relationship. Those are always going to be there's always going to be intense bonding. There's going to be some distraction. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in day-to-day life. Men and women are not compatible. Women overwhelmingly look at men and fear them, or are nothing in common with them, or don't even want to talk to them. Essentially an avoidance strategy. Even when them bitches get naked and go to the nightclub, their purpose is to not be around and looking at and talking to men. Like, they literally don't like men. So when I say things, you got to listen to how I'm saying it and stop taking these things so personal. What I'm saying is accurate. Now, you're going to have occasions where you're like, I like this person. I feel good around this person. But those are few and far between comparatively to the world you enter every day. The world you enter every day, it says the opposite. It says the opposite. All day long, you're avoiding men. All day long, you have nothing in common with men. All day long, you don't even want to hear men when they approach you. All day long. And this goes for women too. It's only a small percentage chance that happens. And when it does, even that is difficult to even carry out. Most of us have them for a period of time. And then when the utility isn't there, when something isn't there, the attention, when it's no longer there, that person is useless. You break up, you move on. It's very rare for men and women to actually like each other. And most of the time it's when you're really young. When you're young, you don't have life. You don't have it. You know, most of you guys are 16 years old. That's the best case scenario. Once people get grown up and adults, very few. We're very far apart. Men and women also live with each other and don't like each other. And have nothing in common, and so forth and so on. So what I'm saying is true. But you guys are so, take shit so personal, and you don't not listen to what I'm saying. Talking about a few fleeting moments that you've had with a person. Just take all of the days you've been alive as an adult. Take all the days you've been alive as an adult. You could probably count on one motherfucking hands, or with 2 hands and 2 feet, the amount of times you had a good day with a woman. Okay, let's just say 50. Out of all the days you've been alive, count them up. You could probably have less than 100 good times with one woman. In total. The rest of it was frustrating, annoying, lackluster. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything to disrupt your ability to have a relationship. But count how many days you've been alive, and count how many good fucking days you've had with a woman. Or vice versa, as a man. Ladies, count how many good days you've had with a man that you were like, this has been a great day. Probably 20, 30, 50, 90 out of like 10,000 days. 20% good, 80% bad, or nondescript, lackluster. Very small. Am I making sense now? Do you understand my point? I know you emotional Mitches and you women listening to me want to argue with me, but I'm just telling you, most men have had 10 good days with a woman their entire fucking existence. 10. Right? So we just got to understand and listen to what I'm saying. We just don't have, he says right here, 0 days of consistent smoothness. Exactly. You've never had like a string of days. Like, I've had 7 days in a row with the woman that was fantastic. Never. You've never had 7 straight days where you were like, I was with this woman, and for 7 straight days, it was just like, and it's the same for men. It's the same for women, how they view men. So when I say something, I mean it, but you have to think a little deeply. I'm not just talking about great moments and you like the person for who they are. I really like him, though. Am I making sense? I'm making sense. Stop being emotional. I'm very pragmatic and logical. And when I break it down, it makes sense. All right, anyway. Oh, my goodness. Shout out to NGN as a Gen Z money mindset and local supporter that bought all your books and been listening to you since 2017. It is a privilege for me to donate to you, to all your wisdom. You have put me decades ahead and are connecting the dots. But I go by NGN because there's too many Larrys and Mitches. Yes, they will come after you. We've had a couple of big donors, private donors that have donated, and they had like a YouTube channel and people went after them. So you're right. You're right. All right. And shout out to the guys who are like, I've had thousands of good days. All right. Shout out to you. I'm not saying that it's impossible. If you want to make that about your life, go ahead. I'm just being very pragmatic about it. And shout out to my brother. All right. I'm being very pragmatic about it, and I'm being honest and forthcoming. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Women view men as utilities. Women don't really like men like that. It's the truth. If they like men, they could go outside and not be scared of every man that approaches them. They'd actually have a conversation with men and would be like, oh, thank you for talking to me. Hi. That's normally not what you get. They're fearful. They think you want something from them. So they overwhelmingly have a disregard for men unless they find one useful. Okay, I find him useful. Then they'll associate with you. All right, anyway. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm trying to make sense of the thing here. I'm not trying to talk down on people. All right, that's that woman chicken balking. Let's get to this part of the show. This part of the show is called Thoughtin' and Plotting. We're going to drive this point home then. Thoughtin' and Plotting. All right, so this woman has a short article here. This woman says, why I regret marrying a man with a well-paying job. The purpose of this segment is to show you how kind of women look and view men and measure men and how they plan to, encounter men well before we encounter them and how they look at us, how they view us. These are some clips and some articles related to this and how men view women is sex. All right, just so we guys know, men's objective with women is sex. A little bit of friendship and a whole bunch of silence and a couple of sandwiches. All right, we're very, very easy. We're never really calculating to manipulate only to get the pussy. That's it. Like that, and not saying that that's not a big deal, but that's how men do. All right, we'll spend all day trying to be nice to you so we can get vagina. All right, that's our biggest motive. Sometimes it's to procreate, but most of the time we're trying to avoid procreation the entire time. So we are really not as calculated as women. We're 10, 20, 30 years behind. Women are very calculating beforehand. They start calculating at 13 how to get over on you men. So we have a woman says, I regret marrying a man with a well-paying job. Essentially, yeah, you can't win.
You can't win.
All right, this woman says right here, money can't buy happiness, and one mother believes she's living proof. She says her husband's well-paying job has come at an incredibly sad cost, her own career.
So I could focus on my career.
It says right here, my husband earns, according to this woman, my husband earns well, not loads, but realistically, it is always going to be more than me. It naturally means my career has had to take a back seat while I'm at home with the kids, she explains.
So I could focus on my career.
No additional support. It all lands on me. So, hey, man, look, this is a situation where.
And that's you.
You think that, American women compete with men. This is a toxic trait that they have. And they're trying to find out how to live in a feminist world, but a man world designing it. So they're still trying to push this envelope. This woman mentioned this earlier, the chicken balk woman, talking about the woman that loses is the woman that has a baby and then marries a guy, that long-winded explanation. You also have this. Like, this is a woman you married. Like, this is the woman, like, you're like, I'm going to make the best life and we're going to be partners. You literally give her fucking life on the platter and she still finds a way to fuck it up.
You can't win.
Like, come on, man. And she's like, I'll never make more than him. So your job is to sabotage him by making him get him off promotional track so you can Do what? Get to middle manager in human resources? What are you going? Remember when I tell you, the only way women can be equal to men is if men make themselves equal to women. You have to lower yourself. Because when they know they can't outcompete you, they'll sabotage you. And then you'll be like, well, okay. And then you'll get yourself off promotional track so she can go bag groceries and shit. So she can push shopping carts around. So she can go to human resources and fire off emails and push pencils and papers around the desk. I mean, all right, you want to feel better about yourself? This is kind of what we're talking about. These are the realities of marriage. These are the realities of relationship. It's not always going to be lovey-dovey. You got dream killers out here, bruh. Dream killers. So she can get the middle management in nursing. And you was going to be CEO, nigga. I wrote a book on this, The Free Agent Lifestyle. You got to watch out for this type of behavior because thought and plotting is real. And the grass is always greener. So you got to watch out for this. It's bad news, man. It's bad news. All right, we got this one right here. We got Stacey Champagne in the house. She's a founder and CEO, nigga, of Hacker in Heels. Oh, interesting. She says right here, this is a married woman. This looks like LinkedIn to me. This looks like a LinkedIn post or maybe a fake book post. She says, I've had, wait. I'm trying to get, all right, this is English. I had multiple clear-cut career accomplishments in 2024. My husband, 0.
So I could focus on my career.
No certifications, no college courses completed, no documentaries, features, no awards. How do you do that? I ask from across the dining table, how are you able to go through a whole year without doing any sort of things and be okay? He didn't respond. There is so much to unpack and learn from an exchange like this. Specifically, what's standing in your way, in the way of my ability to be content without conventional markers of accomplishment? She says, my gut says this is a question that so many people, namely high-performing women, grapple with too.
So I could focus on my career.
She says, I don't have an answer, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Can you go a year without a single new certification, interview, award, promotion, and be okay with yourself for it? It says, what you think of would you think of a colleague? I'm trying to read this. Would you think of a colleague, direct report, manager, friend, or spouse differently for not doing so? Hashtag women in cybersecurity, hashtag cybersecurity, hashtag certifications, and hashtag career development.
So I could focus on my career.
Wow. This is a woman talking to her husband. Now, again, she's framing her husband to be a loser, and I don't see that. I see that she's chasing certain things. She's fascinated with certifications and course completion, and I don't know what documentaries featured are. It says documentary features. Maybe she was featured in a YouTube documentary, and she also mentioned no awards. All right, these are not accomplishments. I mean, they are, but it is not why people pursue things. It could be income. It could be other things. It could be intrinsic awards. These are extrinsic awards. He might have an intrinsic award. He might want to save $200,000 in cold hard cash and invest it. He might want to start another business. Like, he could be doing something completely different and have a different pursuit. However, therein lies again the competition between men and women. You think there's competition and it's not going to exist in your relationship. Well, the virtual definition of partnership is going to insinuate competition many times. And too many people here, we have two examples of thought and plotting in which the woman is internally competing against her spouse. How are you competing against your spouse? Like, this is madness to me. And I would not go for it in my relationships. Any woman that is competing with me, you're with the wrong guy. All right, I don't need you to push me, and I certainly don't need you to compete with me. First of all, I'm the motherfucking big dog. You can't keep up. So you're going to be insecure about the way I go because I push it to the limit. The only way you keep up with me is if you prevent me. AKA the only way you become equal to me is you somehow sabotage me or prevent me from going after my goals. You ain't gonna keep up with the fucking big dog.
We just looking at the booty.
But the problem is that you guys are almost inevitably never in a situation where you're overwhelmingly doing better than the woman financially or extrinsically or intrinsically. You guys are competing with them, and oftentimes you're putting yourself behind. And you have this person internally sabotaging you. Not only that, she's measuring you. She's competing against you. She's picking out all of your dysfunction from her position, and she's broadcasting it to the fucking world.
New world order.
This is how men and women differently look at relationships. And as I said, these women clearly don't like these men. These women in this case clearly do not like these men, but they're married to them. You cannot like a person and then compete against them like that. Like, this is humiliation. So they're not only that. Now let's put the shoe on the other foot. If he was over there saying these things to her, he would be punching down. He would be belittling her. He would be making her feel insecure. So think about these things as I say it, because I have to teach it this way and I have to lay out my case, because you Mickey Mouse niggas are always looking for things to pick out. But when I explain it thoroughly, you will see what I'm talking about. Thoughting and plotting is how they kind of look at relationships. It's not good enough. Sometimes you are not good enough. Some women will say this. Kevin Samuels, the great Kevin Samuels, pointed this out. How did he point this out? He would talk about how women will say things like this. What if the man, your high value man that you want, makes X amount of dollars? And the women will say, well, as long as he has ambitions to do better, it's okay. And he said, wait a minute. Why does he have to have ambitions to do better? What if he is comfortable pumping gas and changing oil at Jiffy Lube and making $50K? What if he's that guy, but he's good to you, he's loyal, he gives you this, he's a great father? What if he's very comfortable pumping gas and changing oil at Jiffy Lubes? But he does it well, he shows up to work, and then the women be like, well, again, they don't like you for you. So you're not even good enough. Even when you come in at $50K, they want you to be like, well, as long as he's willing to have ambitions to get better. That's an example of what I talked about. They don't like you for you. And even then, they're competing with you. This is a hard thing for men to digest. But this is a reality. He wants to be an electrician. He wants to be a blue-collar guy. He wants to be a plumber. Let him be the plumber. That's not good enough. He needs to have, I'll marry an electrician as long as he figures out how to own the fucking electrician fleet. I'll marry a bus driver, but he's got to own the bus. When I tell you they don't like you for you and they're always internally competing against you, this does not go away because you marry them. This does not go away because she likes you. It will still be there. Am I making this clear? Is there anyone in standard disagreement with me? Am I laying out my case? Do not wait till the stream ends to be a coward and go in the comment section and then try to get my attention there because I don't read the comments. Are you in disagreement with what I'm presenting right here? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? I'm ironing this out very clear and concise and right and exact with prime examples. Do you disagree? Don't be a coward. Put some money on it. Show me where I'm messing up. I'm thorough here. This is a thorough, complete annihilation of your simping. Okay, let's continue further then so I can iron out this case a little bit more. Thoughting and plotting. Here's a woman that says your first, listen, this is her own English. Your first rich man, you're going to fold because you're not used to it. All right. We got this woman out here who's smoking a joint and she probably smokes plenty of spliffs. All right. Looking at her black ass lips. All right. So she's going to talk about how women fumble their first rich man. All right. Here we go again. Thoughting and plotting.
Before y'all go dating that rich man, now let me tell y'all something. That's why I asked y'all if y'all had a plan, because I have a friend and she gave me permission to share her story. Now, my friend girl was dating a man that was worth a couple of millions, y'all, okay? Now, what my friend did, though, instead of her, like, actively saying, like, this man is giving me a lot of cash. You understand what I'm saying? Let me go invest this into some bonds. Let me go buy a trailer. Let me buy a piece of property. Let me do something else. Instead, y'all, my friend, who at the time had a very bird-like mentality because she herself had not been spoiled or had that much money spent on her, right? So this man did a lot for her, but he did a lot in the sense and left her with nothing. He did her breast augmentation and they look great, but at the end of the day, y'all, she spent so much money and left that relationship baby-free, but left with nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing in her name. She spent all the money, y'all. So again, when you get this rich man, have a plan.
Okay, so this is starting and plotting. This is starting and plotting. So essentially she's saying women that try to date up, monetize dating, women that try to elevate, level up, when you get to the guy, have a plan. Bruh. When I say they got a plan, they look at men as different when they're getting with them. We look at them to try to get as much sex as we possibly can for a little investment. That's kind of how we think of things, and maybe get some love and loyalty. That would be ideal. They look at it completely different. How can I use this man? How is he a utility? She mentioned several things. You left baby free, meaning that you met a rich man and all you did was let him trick on you and you spent the money. That's typically what's happening in monetized dating. And they keep having to call you up because they keep being in the bind. So you keep getting what you're getting from them and they keep getting the money and spending it. And you're like, hey, it is what it is. All right, bring your 21-year ass over here again, fold. Then they go out, spend the money on weed, spend the money on makeup, spend the money on purses, spend the money on back rent and cell phone bill. And then they call you up next week. Hey, I need another hit. She's saying these women are losing, even though they're getting what they want out of it. They're getting dates and trips and vacations. But the women aren't investing the money. They're not getting pregnant on these men. They're not getting the child support. They're still losing. This is how a woman can be a volunteer and end up the victim, okay? This is how they end up saying, well, he did this and he took this out of me. How Cassie ended up a victim at the end of 10 years of her allegedly participating in freak offs. She ended up broke. She ended up with no baby, no marriage. She ended up with a fucking personal trainer. And then this woman saying she fumbled it. Like, isn't this crazy? Just think about this. I said earlier, women don't really like men like that. They can fuck you. They can suck your toes. They can lick up all in between your legs. They don't like you like that. That doesn't mean they like you. They can spend money on you. Men are trying to look for women that like them. It's hard to find. It's very hard to find. When you find out, they just stop them plotting at the end of the day. Like, this is wild. All right, but it's a reality check for men. It's a reality check. You'll figure it out. All right, you'll figure it out.
Before y'all go dating that rich man, now let me tell y'all something. That's why I asked y'all if y'all had a plan,
Did y'all have a plan? What did I title this? Thoughtin' and plotting. Planning. Do you have a plan? I need to have y'all have a plan.
I have a friend and she gave me permission to share her story. Now, my friend girl was dating a man that was worth a couple of millions, y'all, okay?
A couple of millions, y'all.
Now, what my friend did, though, instead of her, like, actively saying, like, this man is giving me a lot of cash.
Yep. Paying her off, tricking on her. As I tell you, man, people think tricking, the woman is winning, the man is losing. Inevitably, I've been disagreeing with that. It's not. You will find that long term on tricking, the man is going to win. He ends up getting the better part of the deal. The woman ends up going, damn, he done probed all of my anal hole, all of that. Face, ear, nutted in my eye. And then guess what? She ended up broke at the end of it. She ended up still needing to come see him next week for that $5 hit, whatever it is, that $80 holler, that $200 cash out. All right. He gonna clearly win long term.
You understand what I'm saying? Let me go invest this into some bonds. let me go.
Some bonds. This woman has never invested in any bonds. I'm going to tell you that right now. She has never bought one bond. A 3-year, 5, 10, nothing. No city municipality bonds, nothing.
Buy a trailer. Let me buy a piece of property. Let me
nothing. Zero.
Do something else. Instead, y'all, my friend who at the time had a very bird-like mentality because she herself had not been spoiled or had that much money spent on her, right? So
she never had a guy trick on her and treat her nice and, you know, do something out of the kindness of his heart, take care of her, support her. They just look at men as tricks and pet wallets, all right? Whether it's through marriage, okay, right here, or no matter what the situation. There it is, through marriage right there. So it don't matter if they selling a little pussy or getting married. It's all the same. It all ends up the same. What can I get out of him? All right, here we go.
Man did a lot for her, but he did a lot in the sense and left her with nothing.
Did you hear that? Did you hear this? When we talk about Cassie, this is going to all come full circle. This man did a lot for her, but left her with nothing.
Oh, the humanity.
What that mean?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way. Sometimes when a woman talks, you gotta like pause everything they're saying to see what they're saying, to see how ridiculous it is. He did a lot for her, more than was ever done for her, but he left her with nothing. So everything he did, this is kind of like when you get married and you do for your wife and then she divorced you and then she asks for spousal support. Well, I'm like, I already paid for you. Already paid for you during the marriage. Why are you getting more money when you're leaving? Well, I need to protect myself. I did for you already. What means you need protection anymore for now? Go take care of yourself. Go get a job. That's not how they see life. And that's not how they see their association with men. When you're doing for her, they do measure what happens when you leave. What price did you pay when you leave? Well, he didn't take care of me, and he didn't pay no child support, and he didn't do this, and he didn't leave me with the house. So you did nothing for her at the end. At the end, she still says, you left me with nothing. Guys, this is how different men and women look at relationships. He did so much for her, more than anybody ever could possibly do for her, and left her with nothing. This is some wild shit. This is wild madness, but let's continue here. She had much to say.
He did her breast augmentation, and they look great.
He gave her titty implants. He left her with nothing. She still got the titties on her chest, I'm assuming.
But at the end of the day, y'all, she spent so much money and left that relationship baby free, but left with nothing.
How? You got titties on your chest. He gave you money. You mismanaged it. You spurnt it. You spurnt the money, but he gave it to you. You could have bought some stocks and bonds. You could have bought some municipal bonds, which you've never would done. So when they mismanaged the money, they mismanaged their punani. Now you got to pay on the back end. This is kind of what I'm seeing with Cassie and Diddy. I've been saying that from the beginning. This is how she looks at it. And you left baby free, meaning that you didn't get the baby paycheck. How you didn't make him knock you up. But of course, you're supposed to be responsible for this. Because if you knock her up, you get to continue to get money on the back end. Is this making sense, man? This is madness, all right? This is maddening.
Not a damn thing. Nothing in her name. She spent all the money, y'all.
You just said it. It's her fault, all right? But she's saying it's his fault.
And it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
As I say, they drink up all the food. They eat up all the food. They drink up all the drink. They stay in all the first class hotels. They go to all the restaurants. They spend up all the cash. And then they say, you left me with nothing in my name. I lost. I didn't get nothing from this. I spent 10 years with Diddy, and I got nothing from it. So he owes me for the past use of my vagina. He owes me. So they can go out here and trick and sell pussy and still lose. They can come out here and get married and divorce and still lose.
So again, when you get this rich man, have a plan.
When you get the rich man, have a plan. Thoughting and plotting. Thoughting and plotting. We have, let me see here. We're getting close. I got 1, 2, 3 more videos to share. Bear with me. Am I building my case? Am I being right and exact? Am I being thorough? I'm being thorough here. All right, so this is a woman here talking about communication. Shout out to this chocolate sister with the short haircut. I love sisters with short haircuts like this. All right. I like their hair. I like the way they look. All right, and I want to get that neck. All right, so this woman's going to talk about how women communicate with men and set men up to be bad communicators. Again, this goes along with thoughting and plotting. And she's going to admit that women set men up in communication to lose. All right, so here we go.
Unpopular opinion, most men are not bad communicators, but a lot of women are conversation bullies. You have decided prior to speaking to your man what happened, how it happened, when it happened, where it happened, and who it happened with, long before he's had a chance to even give his side of the story. Now, whenever you come to speak to him and he's trying to talk to you, you continue to cut him off. You continue to interrupt him. And now he's just sitting there going, okay, whatever. And he lets you think whatever you want to think. And he apologizes just to end the argument and end the conversation. And y'all don't get to the bottom of anything. Now, your new thing is, I don't understand why he doesn't speak to me or tell me anything, because, baby, you don't allow him to. You have now made him feel emotionally unsafe. So why would he come to you and speak to you about anything? Because you are a conversation bully, baby.
All right. All right, unpopular opinion, she says.
Unpopular opinion, most.
All right, she has the tattoo on her titty. That's a loss, though. I don't know, sister. You almost had me. But there it is. There's another example of where the woman prepares for your failure in the communication. And then your failure to communicate is another failure. So she says, we need to talk. All right, that means she done already prepared her fucking case. Evidence, and she already had a chance to put. So she sneak attacks you. Right in the fourth quarter of the Philadelphia Eagles game. All right. And then you're like, this is not an appropriate time. He doesn't communicate with me. So they kind of set you up for this so you can eventually lose. They don't set up communication for you to win, is essentially what she's saying. They build their case first, then sneak attack. Pearl Harbor, 9/11 job you. So you see where this is going on, where it makes it unfair for you. It doesn't make it fair. She doesn't present her case up front. She doesn't say, hey, we need to talk about this. Can we talk about it and let you get a chance to prepare? Most of the time, you like trying to get her like, yeah, let me just, and then call you a bad communicator on the other time. Or if you argue, snap, crash out, or if you bring up the fact that, hey, this ain't fair communication here. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. And then they're bringing up so much data and fact and going back in the past and grabbing information. So you're saying deflect, redirect. I mean, there's so many tactics that this happens, and that it's just pure manipulation many times. And most of the time you just agree to disagree to move on so you can hear her mouth or not hear her mouth. And then you ultimately lose. So that is an example of thought and plotting that she's actually acknowledging that in relationships that you think are so perfect. My relationship is perfect, coach. I don't know what you're talking about. All of us deal with this, and you don't realize this is death by 1,000 cuts. This is death by 1,000 cuts.
Men are not bad communicators, but a lot of women are conversation bullies. You have decided prior to speaking to your man what happened, how it happened, when it happened, where it happened, and who it happened with, long before he's had a chance to even give his side of the story.
Now, if you look in the comment section, most people out here are agreeing. All right, you didn't miss with this one. You're gorgeous. This one says right here, 100%. Exactly. Sounds accurate. Amen. And then you also have, this is my ex-wife. All right, you got the rock post right there. All right. Facts. Listen. All right, most men deal with these things. But, of course, when men come on social media and make these complaints, guess what happens? We hate women. Your mama black. You're a misogynist. You must be gay. And so forth and so on. So when men have a space to air out their complaints, it's toxic. We hate women. It should be demonetized and so forth and so on. So we often have to have women take the lead and admit these toxic traits in these unfavorable and unfair conditions that are in relationships. Because when I say it, I'm just gay. I just hate women. Right? So shout out to her right there. We got 2 more pieces of videos before the main event. And we got record people in here. Right? It's always at the end of the show. This woman here says she's in an argument, you know, these wonderful relationships that you portray. She's recording getting bullied right now. If the man works and pays the bills, why should he have to come home and cook and clean the house also?
So you think come home from work and tell me what the fuck to do around this bitch? You got me fucked up. I ain't doing shit around here. That's your motherfucking job.
Who the fuck do you think that you're yelling at, though? You're not talking to me.
I am talking to you. You can clean this fucking mess up.
Okay, let's get this shit straight real quick.
I don't clean shit around this bitch. I pay the bills around this bitch. You clean up. The fuck you talking about?
You out your rabbit-ass motherfucking mind if you think you finna tell me what the fuck to do.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
No, you not finna tell me what the fuck to do.
I ain't trying to hear none of that shit.
You finna get your ass up and clean this shit. I don't give a fuck what type of bills your ass pay up in this motherfucker. I ain't gotta be your mama. Don't put your hands on me. I ain't gotta be your mama, but I'm finna tell your ass what the fuck you finna do, though. Yes, the fuck I am. And what you gonna do about it, though? What you gonna do about it? I ain't cleaning shit. I run this bitch, not you. You pay the bills in this bitch.
Who the fuck is you talking to like that?
You is who the fuck I'm talking to like that. What? That's what the fuck I thought. Walk your ass out that door.
I ain't cleaning up shit, though.
Yes, the fuck you is, 'cause I ain't cleaning up after your ass.
I ain't cleaning up shit.
Yeah, we gonna see.
So you think come home from work and tell me what the fuck to do around this bitch? You got.
All right, so here we go right here. This is an obvious common conversation between men and women, apparently. And apparently she does so much, she can't change that smoke detector, right? That smoke detector battery didn't get changed, but she does so much. Obviously, she's lacking. Number 1, coach, how is this thought and plotting? Well, gentlemen, what you're realizing is this is her building her case. She has now built up a case for abuse. She has now built up a case of domestic violence. She has recorded you successfully without your knowledge. Now, if you don't live in a 2-party state, yeah, this could be used against you. She looks like she's defending herself, but we cut out much of the argument. He is already raging. All right. So when did the argument start? Most people would consider her being abused, and how could that man do that? And just because he pays the bill doesn't mean he can't clean. But the thought and plotting comes in the form of she's recording him without his knowledge. Not only that, she's instigating and gaslighting, and she's very confrontational. All right, so she's building her case. This is thought and plotting. You're living with her. This is the woman you sleep with, you fuck, you put baby batter in, you love, you kiss, and you have great times with. She's now recorded the worst times you could possibly have, and even to the point where keep your hands off of me has been said. But she instigated this entire argument. She instigated this. We don't see it because it's not part of the video. But why did she start recording? Well, she gaslit his ass, lit his ass up, and now she's going to get the fucking recording. End of story. So then when we see this recording, we automatically say that dude's an asshole. How do you live with him? Well, number 1, she's a loser. She ain't got no other choice. Number 2, she's fucking lazy. But nobody wants to hear that part of the story. So this is manipulation in your own house. This is instigation. This is gaslighting. This is her building a case against you. But when I say this, you guys say, "Nah, women don't do stuff like this." Yeah, and she'll pull this out whenever necessary. We're gonna see this in the Cassie and Diddy case, and then she'll build a case against you, and then you'll look like a piece of shit. All right, but she got them already lit up already. We don't see that part. Domestic violence statistics tell us 70% of domestic violence victims instigated. This is an instigation. This is her using the phone to record it. She's not recording him. This is thought and plotting.
Me fucked up. I ain't doing shit around here. That's your motherfucking job.
Who the fuck do you think that you're yelling at, though?
Now, I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet that if she was not recording, she would not respond that way. Like what she's doing now, that's gaslighting because she knows she's being recorded. Now she knows she can safely say what she's saying. This is similar to in public. If there's no recording, if there's no no witnesses, women tend to be like, speak under their breath. But if she's outside, she's in public, she with her family and friends, she's recording, then you'll see this. This is where we call the simp wolf whistle. And why is that goddamn smoke detector going off? All right, so now she knows comfortably she has it recorded. The record button is counting up right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 30 seconds. So now she can snap back and defend herself. And act like I always defend myself like this. This is thought and plotting.
You're not talking to me.
I am talking to you. You clean this fucking mess up.
Okay, let's get this shit straight real
I don't
quick.
clean shit around this bitch. I pay the bills around this bitch. You clean up. The fuck you talking about?
You out your rabbit-ass motherfucking mind if you think you finna tell me what the fuck to do.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
No, you not finna tell me what the fuck to do.
I guarantee you she intentionally didn't clean up. Look, I'm going to take it further than this. She intentionally did not clean up knowing he was going to crash out. She intentionally did not put hamburger helper on that stove. She intentionally has that nigga alarm going off above her head. She has set up this scenario so he could crash out. She has sat up there for hours waiting for this nigga to come home with clothes all over the floor, popcorn, Captain Crunch crumbs all over the goddamn carpet. She has essentially set this up, didn't wash a dish. I almost guarantee all day been sitting there steaming and stewing, wait for him to come home to jump on his neck. Hey, we got a legend here we need to acknowledge. Ringo TV Reactions. Shout out to him, brother, man. Keep doing the Lord's work over here. Legendary in the building. Shout out to him. Let me give him a win over there. Ringo TV Reactions, the legend. Acknowledge him. All right. He been doing this since 2009.
Acknowledge me.
If you don't know, he's in the chat. He got 5011 channels in there too. Do me a favor. Go over to his channel and sub to my brother right there. Ringo TV Reactions, man. Shout out to him. Go give him a subscribe. I just saw him go up there, check mark, and all of that. All right. He been doing this way longer than me. All right. Way longer than me. 2009, he goes back. Original voice in this space. For the brothers that want to be in there, knowing who the people who've been doing this for a long time. He's been doing it for a long, long time. Shout out to him. And definitely an OG in this space. OG in this space. All right, 2006, he goes back. He been doing this before there was even people thinking about a YouTube. All right, shout out to him. Man, that's great that he's here. All right, so thoughting and plotting. Appreciate you, brother. We got one more video, and then we'll have the main event. Thoughting and plotting. All right, what do we got? We got this woman right here. Think about this. This is a woman setting up a so-called sexual interaction between a man. All right, shout out to you, brother. This is how, now, when we talk about a sexual encounter with a man and a woman, the woman essentially says, I showed up and then the guy did X, Y, and Z. I was unsuspecting. I didn't know he was going to whip his dick out. I didn't know he was going to put it in my mouth. I didn't know he was going to nut on my feet, right? All right. What happens is men then have to answer for this because the woman says, I just showed up. My intentions were to be a friend. We're going to hear this in the Cassie case. I didn't know he was going to whip his dick out. I didn't know he wanted some pussy. I didn't know he want, right? That's what we hear. The woman just was Red Riding Hood, walking down the street, sniffing lilies, and going there, and then you, the big bad wolf, showed up and whipped your dick out. We hear this all the time, and then people are appalled. I can't believe he did, and he didn't do this, and she wasn't there for that. That's what we hear, right? This woman's going to show the opposite, thoughting and plotting. She knows an encounter is going to happen. She knows you're there for. She knows what you're there for. And now she's trying to prime the guy up to get what she wants. Listen to this. So we got to stop framing women as this innocent wallflower. She didn't know a dick was going to get whipped out. Right? She didn't know some sex was about to be on the menu. I was just there and I was just minding my own business and the dick came flying out of his pants. This type of shit. All right, so let's play the video. It's two minutes of her talking about setting up for a man to have an intimate moment with her. All right, so here we go.
Come over, he sit down on the couch and I tell him to put something on the TV. That was a test. I was trying to figure out what he was into. He starts scrolling on Netflix and put on some anime. I sit down on the couch, he says, "You fuck with this?" I'm like, hell yeah, I love anime. That was low-key a lie. I don't watch too much anime, but I'm cool with watching it. I'm just trying to crack. Boom, we just watching the anime, the vibes is mad cool, and we just talking up a storm. After watching the anime for a little bit, he's like, "Hey, you wanna go outside and smoke?" I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. That was a trap. I'm gonna tell you why in a second.
All right, so you get the point here. She already has pre-planned. What women have in their mind is a script of the event. Normally, they want you to follow the said script. If you don't, they'll try to get you on the script. If you go off the script, that's where the violation happened. You see what I mean? So she's already setting it up. All right, if he does this, this is a trap. If he does this, he plays into my hand, blah, blah, blah. Women then say, well, I showed up and I was dressed scantily clad and then he was sitting there and I just came over to play motherfucking Life and Twister and then his dick came out. You see what I'm saying? We got to stop believing that. They already have a plan, a script. They have a plan to reject you. They have a plan to sleep with you. They have a plan to extend the evening. They have a plan to shorten the evening. They already have a plan. They are not wallflower innocent girls. They already kind of know what they want to do, and they will set up and test and do. This is called thoughting and plotting. Okay, now let's hear it goes. She's already insinuating, and this is a young emerging adult with an undeveloped brain, meaning she's under 25. She's somebody's daughter, a minor, whatever the fuck you want to say. But she clearly knows what she's doing, and she clearly has a plan.
We go outside to smoke, and he just starts yapping up a storm. One thing about men, when they start smoking, they get to yapping. So ladies, this is your chance to sit there and just bat your pretty little eyes and listen to all their dreams and aspirations. Take advantage. Get as much information as you can in this moment. So boom, we get done smoking, we come back inside and we start eating. After we get done eating, we pick the movie and just started watching the movie together. Ladies, we are now entering phase 2 of our plan.
She said plan. I just saw somebody in the comment section says plan is a stretch. She said plan. She planned the evening. She scripted it out. She is going along directly to try to get what she wants. Do you hear this? Come on, man. This is a lot of shit testing, a lot of manipulation, a lot of planning, a lot of plotting, a lot of scripting in her head to make this happen. All right, let's continue.
I could tell he was a little nervous, so I asked him if I could put my legs on top of him. He said, of course. So I put my legs on top of him and we're just cuddling watching the movie. I could tell he was a little nervous, so I'm taking baby steps with this one.
That's a plan. All right, what did she do? She got intimate with him. She touched him. She broke the touch barrier. These are all things to talk about. So she wants to put her legs on his legs for him to make a move. This is going to allow him to open the door. If I break this touch barrier, if I get in close with him, he's probably going to get aroused and make a move. So these are all things that she's fully aware of. Nothing is her innocently going, I don't know how it happened. I can't remember the details. And they remember all the details. I don't remember what happened. Drugs and alcohol came out and I blacked out. All right, come on, man. We got to stop believing that.
My legs were on top of him for a minute. He didn't make any moves. So I'm like, you look uncomfortable. Why don't you sit over here next to me that's a little bit closer? So he gets up and he moves and he gets closer to me. So now we're laying side to side. I'm in the front watching the movie this way. He's behind me watching the movie this way. After watching a movie for a little bit and he still didn't make any moves, I turned my face towards him and I tell him that I'm getting a little sleepy. So I close my eyes and start rubbing his arm.
All right, touch barrier again. She's going to say,
ladies, start rubbing on that man and I promise he'll do whatever you want.
Is this not and plotting? This is a plan. This is a script. This is her knowing and fully aware. If I do this to him, this is going to be the result. It's never going to be she was just sitting there and I whipped my dick out. All right. It's never that. That's what she will say happened. But no, I did this. I touched him. I put my legs there. I got close to him. I rubbed his arm. That's going to arouse him. Therefore, he might make a move. He might not make a move. Thoughting and plotting. Let's continue here.
After rubbing on his arm, I start rubbing on his shoulders and then his chest and then all the way up to his neck. He stops me and he's like, look, we don't got to do nothing. We can just chill. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Challenge accepted. The movie's still playing.
Okay, that would be a sexual assault. That will be a sexual assault. So let's say I rubbed on her arm. All right. I'm trying to lay this out for you. Let's say I was like, I'm going to start rubbing on her arm and her shoulders, and I'm going to get her warmed up. And then she says, I'm not comfortable with this. Please stop. No, I don't want to move forward. No, I'm not going to make a move. She said no, and I said, challenge accepted. You see the difference? That's a major difference. I'll play it again just so you can hear it. And this is, I'm not saying that we should do things against women, right? What I'm saying is we need to stop portraying women as a victim when they're volunteering clearly. It's volunteering. All right. I'm not saying men should press charges. I'm just trying to let you guys know this is what you're listening to.
Promise he'll do whatever you want. After rubbing on his arm, I start rubbing on his shoulders and then his chest and then all the way up to his neck. He stops me and he's like, look, we don't got to do nothing. We can just chill.
That's a no.
I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Challenge accepted.
Nope, I'm not listening to that no. I'm going to keep doing more.
The movie's still playing, but at this point, we're just talking. And I start asking him about all his dreams and aspirations that he was telling me about when we were smoking outside. Men love this. It shows that you were listening to him the entire time. And as he's yapping, y'all, all I'm doing is just rubbing on his arms, rubbing on his shoulders. And
I thought he said he didn't want to do anything. We just wanted to chill.
Chest, and he is folding. I finally get up and I'm like, look, it's getting late. I'm going to put some PJs on. So I run and grab my PJs, but I change in front of him. I knew what I was doing.
Brothers, she said, I intentionally got naked in front of him. Just because a woman gets naked in front of him doesn't give you an invitation to, right? That's what we're told. She intentionally admits to intentionally getting naked in front of him, changing in front of him to escalate, and then says, I know what I'm doing. Now, when we get to Cassie and Diddy, I don't want to hear you bitch-ass ninjas and you Mitches with your defense force shit. I don't want to hear it. You knew what the fuck you were doing. You knew what you were doing. You were a grown-ass woman. I don't want to hear about no age gap. I don't want to hear shit. No brain ain't developed. I don't want to hear nothing, bruh. She knew what she was doing. Clearly said it.
Finally get up and I'm like, look, it's getting late. I'm going to put some PJs on. So I run and grab my PJs, but I change in front of him. I knew what I was doing. Come on now. I put on a big oversized tee and the smallest pair of panties I could find. After I get done changing, I get on top of him and we start kissing. While we're kissing, I think I woke up his little friend. At this point, ladies, we got him exactly where we want him.
Are you hearing this? And this is just me just telling you they know what they're doing. All right, come on, man. They're not innocent, man. They know what they're doing. She's initiating. And then wait till you hear the end.
Panties I could find. After I get done changing, I get on top of him and we start kissing. While we're kissing, I think I woke up his little friend. At this point, ladies, we got him exactly where we want him. So the next step is really up to you. After we get done kissing, I look at the time and it's late as fuck and I told him to leave. I just wanted to prove a point that if I wanted to crack, I could. Hashtag women in men's field. Love y'all.
All right. So at the end, it even is worse. She aroused him saying that she had no intentions of sleeping with him. Now. So now she got him all aroused just at the moment. Oh, it's too late. Looks like this. I got to go to bed. Now when you start begging because your little Peter Weeder is hard, she starts saying, oh, you're doing too. Man, sad shit. But thoughtin' and plotting. So you cock teased him, and now when he bend your ass over and puts your face in the pillow, he going to jail. That's what's going to happen. If he touches you, if he so much as whip out his dick, now he going to jail for sexual assault or harassment. Guys, this is predatory. But it's games that people play against other people, and they use men's nature against them. This is all thoughtin' and plotting. Absolutely evil, man. Evil shit. But of course, we're going to say Cassie's a victim here coming up in the show. All right, have I set it up that she's not a victim? And I've been saying this from the beginning. She's not a victim. We're going to do the main event here. Let me acknowledge these supporters and then get to it. No government name. Says it's easy to support Coach for his knowledge. Personally, I'm on Locals, the JUCO stream. Shout out to you, man. It's easy. Shout out to you, YouTube guy. If you're not okay with your wife having a boyfriend, You have no reason to get married. That's for true. Okay. All right. All right. Your wife is going to have a boyfriend. Yeah, a boyfriend. Pac-Man says, hey, coach, first time donor. This story could be an evil world or a crime in law. A soccer player from AC Milan named Theo Hernandez has a TV model wife or girlfriend named Luisa and falsely accused him of rape. She's got a 6-month. Wait a minute. Okay, she falsely accused him of rape. She got a 6-month suspended prison sentence and a 1,500 euro fine. My rent to you is due. Shout out to you, man. Damn. Okay, so she falsely accused him.
Due, motherfucker.
All right, that's interesting. Thank you for your first-time donation. Donnie Yin, hey, coach, even if a man is single, thought and plotting can be easily confirmed by simply observing how women treat their husbands. Pay attention, gentlemen. Okay, that is evidence you need. Always watch married couples. Married men and married women. I did this also on my Twitch IRL stream. All right, I showed you. Go outside. It ain't pretty out here. Kirby H, trying to help out the best I can. Salute. Shout out to you. Joshua Moon, wishing bad on CGA knowing you can't be like him. How sad. Shout out to the legendary, and please go subscribe to his channels. You will find that this guy has extensive knowledge. It's Ringo TV Raw. He says supporting. Shout out to you. Legend in this game. All right, people don't bring him up. When they talk about the legends and the legends in this space, they need to bring him up quite a bit more. But unfortunately, you know, people like him and myself have been shadow banned, demonetized to hell and back. And then the new people get crowned kings. You know, these new people that have been around since 2021. Y'all start crowning them kings and shit. Well, if you want to crown them, crown them. All right, but you can't forget the people that have made significant contributions to this space. All right, and he's one of them. Go subscribe to his channels. Ringo TV Raw or Ringo TV Reactions. He's got like 50 channels too. Pro Mansplainer says, a while back, you dropped a couple of maybe unbeknownst coachisms. Today's topic, you called them, is it DIDDY'S equals Diddy videos? A Diddy-o. Did I do that by mistake? Yesterday's topic, you previously coined the term ninjanomics, maybe adding the N-ology, the study of ninjas. Yes, he says right here, submitted respectfully, the Pro Mansplainer. Ninjas need to be studied under a microscope. That's for sure. 100%. We need to study our mentalities. Shout out to our brother Kalen says, while women have their standards, they forget men have standards too. We as men don't tell women their standards. We don't, because we have to boost their ego for them to have sex with us. However, while they can't get the relationship, they wonder why men won't commit. Well, yes. That's the ugly women. That's the ugly women. Shout out to our brother here. Last couple says, all right, shout out to our brother, Mr. Inquisitive. I'm not trying to stunt on the smaller contributions. It all counts. He says, I'm going to send that 1K and I want to book a one-on-one consultation. Just relocated to Vegas. Let's go. And wanted to have a few words of power with you, and I will gladly pay you for your time. Your words are valuable. As value comes, amen. Shout out to you, man. Book it, man, and we can meet up. You can go down to the strip and hang out. Off topic, Macaroni Tony on supporting when even when we catching strays, I didn't drop out after you cooked me on the Juwan Howard incident. It's okay to disagree without beef. And you guessed, and your guess was right. He says, while mine was wrong, I learned a lot from that experience. Shout out to you. Mr. Inquisitive says, you're right, CGA, dealing with women. Nothing they do is malicious. They just do things that they do innately. Example, this woman is trying to do things to put me in a pursuit position. I disengage, and they will always come to me. Anyways, I only pursue my purpose and my paper and peace, not punani. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
And that's you.
All right. Let me tell you something. I'm going to say something. As much as we talk about female manipulation and the tactics and thoughting and plotting, one thing I'm going to tell you is the reason they do this. We have to tell you a reason why. One of the reasons why they do this is they can't whoop your ass. Okay. And they almost over 80 to 100,000 years have collectively as a group not been able to whip your ass. Now, that is the reason why they spend so much time plotting and plotting and manipulating you. Now, there are some women that have trained themselves up to be able to somehow compete, maybe throw a couple of punches and maybe sneak rabbit punch your ass and maybe can survive a couple of fisticuffs. All right, but they glass jaw will always tell the truth. You know what I mean? One punch crunch right to the jaw or the temple, and they will collapse like dominoes. All right, but in general, yes, some of them might get back up with the power of the exorcist, and they will get back up and put up a good fight. But the most of them cannot whoop your ass. With that being said, they have to come up with survival techniques to have preempted strikes against abuse, to prevent abuse, or to insert those dominance. All right. So, but that's the basis of it. So now that you know why they, now that you know that they do things and we have to fully admit that they do them, the other reason why is they do them is they can't beat your ass. All right. That's it. That's the bottom line. They got to line up all kind of people in court. We call them toy soldiers and simp enforcers and police and government and law enforcement, call the police. They got to do all these things to set you up, record you. So they do death by 1,000 cuts, right? They got to cut your ass 1,000 times because one time you cut them up, it's a whole going to be a nightmare. Now I got to cut you. They can lose their life. You know what I mean? So we got to be honored that and respect. All right. But one punch crunch right to the jaw, they fold up like a lawn chair, all right, and it's cooked. Then they're indefensible, so they got to manipulate. Right to you. Ladies are like, this is ridiculous, all right? They got to use court of public opinion, all kind of shit. This is why they do the goofy shit that they do. They got to set up, you know what I mean? They got to eventually wear your ass down. Glass jaw. As soon as they throw one punch, it'll be crap. All right. So, as we know, this is why they do the things that they do. All right. And if you were in that position, you would manipulate too. Shout out to our brother Cy54 in the building. Yeah. Shout out to you. And shout out to our brother Donnie saying, pay attention to how husbands are treated in the world. No government name, coach, I disagree. My gal loves me for me. And that was before I found you. Your local streams are a gem. Shout out to you. Your girl loves me for me. Most of you guys never been loved before, so. Most of you guys never been loved, so, you know, any woman that shows you love, you know, no matter how fat she is, no matter how poor she is, all right, you ninjas is going. All right, you ninjas is going. All right, you guys are weak for love. You know, men are in love, women are in business. So you guys are super duper weak when it comes to this idea. All right, if this woman showed you the most best love, you guys going. All right, because you're loveless, you know, and you're just, oh my goodness. Oh, the humanity. You know, so you going. All right, you like, I love her, coach, and she shows me love, ass ninja. You know. All right, we're going to get to the main event because I'm still cooking, all right? But, you know, if this woman loved you, you would be staying with her loyal and faithfully. You know what I mean? Just, oh, the humanity. All right. Especially you black men. You going. We got two more. Shout out to our brother here, Tevin. The T to the E to the V to the I to the N. Hey, coach, thank you for always giving advice. Being a businessman and listening to you has made me not make mistakes with my paper, especially with dealing with women. Shout out to you. I got money. Protect your meat, your money energy, your attention and time, because that's what they need. They always short on that. They always short on that. They always can't. They got the plan. They just need the money. All right. The big boss man is in the building. You spot on about how women are not liking women, not liking men. He says, if you a Mitch, May, Beta, she don't like you. She doesn't respect you. If you're a toxic a-hole, she doesn't like you, but she will respect you. She'll stick around. She'll stick around. Unfortunately, I'm not telling women to stick around, but she'll stick around. Last one, Kevin Kev in the browser says, I've lived in close proximity to people like the couple you showed earlier too many times for my liking. They don't care who they disturb with their foolishness. I could never do that, but I guess I'm just boring. Free agent lifestyle for life. Let's get it. How many of you guys live with couples that argue and you want to go over there and see what happened? All right. I just let them. I'm like, hey, man, let the CSI find their ass. All right. That's how I look at it. She arguing. She screaming. All right. Let CSI. I'm not going to go over there and see what happened. If they want to have a goddamn Dateline episode, all right, go ahead. I ain't going to be over there to save them. All right, if she want to act a monkey, let her act a monkey. Main event. Yes, it's time. That could be your daughter over there. All right, it ain't. All right, let's get to it. Main event here. Did you guys hear? Puff Daddy, P. Diddy out here. Wait a minute. All right, that's not the thing out here. Cassie Ventura. You guys remember what happened with her? If you don't remember, I'll give you a quick rundown here. Cassie Ventura was with this man, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. All right, not defending that guy at all. All right, why? Oh, there it is right there. Freak offs were consensual. She was with him from age 19 all the way up to close to age 29 while he was in his early 30s all the way up to his 40s and 50s. I don't know, mid 40s. And she volunteered to be with him for several years. Of course, this was a tumultuous relationship, and there were some death threats. There was some physical violence, domestic violations going on. There also was attempting to bomb another boyfriend's car with her cheating on Puff Daddy. There was also some freak offs, and there was some money spread, and she saved none. There was her participating in orgies. All right. Where's the orgy sound?
Trying.
And she was also hiring sex workers, male sex workers, bisexual male sex workers, to throttle her and also tickle P. Diddy's balls. All right, that's what's going on.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
Any of your relatives in a dumbass relationship like this would not get any consideration. But of course, when it was over and she left empty-handed, AKA, remember this sister talked about this. All right, when you leave empty-handed, he did so much for her. She left empty-handed. She couldn't deal with it. All right, so that's what happened. All right, she was stopped and plotting. She wanted to get married. She wanted to have his babies. But of course, she left with nothing, empty-handed. She married a personal trainer, and then she wanted her money back. She wanted money back for the past usage of her vagina. Now, what she did was she set up a good case. She built a case. She built a great case against him. And that is the case that has brought him down. And it has opened up all of these other accusations and other lawsuits. This was the nail in the coffin for him. So what she essentially said was he used drugs, he used alcohol, and he used manipulation and physical violence and threats to keep me involved in the relationship. A lot of people fell for this shit. I called it out for what it was. She was not a victim. She was a volunteer. But y'all don't want to hear me, though. All right. But now what we're seeing now is Diddy's attorneys responding to her case, in which this case that he has hinges almost entirely on Cassie. Although we hear about the Diddy parties and the other lawsuits, those have yet to be settled. The guy's good is done, but they have to win this case. It's a Fed case, so they're almost inevitably going to win it, and they certainly don't want to let his ass out of prison, and they certainly don't want a plea deal at this point. But they got to win the Cassie part of the case, in which he is sex trafficking sex workers to have orgies with Cassie. That's the main part of the case. That is the main part of the case. If they lose that part of the case against Diddy is cooked. He could walk. He could walk if they don't win the Cassie case. So they got to win the Cassie part of the case, in which she was a victim. She was not a volunteer. She was there by force. She was there by drug orientation. She wasn't drinking up all the drinks willingly. She wasn't smoking up all the smoke, and she wasn't eating up all the food. She was a prisoner for 10 years, and she was out there being victimized by having orgies.
Trying.
Now, just because the guy's weird, just because you don't like Diddy, just because you think he's wrong, and he's wrong in many cases according to the stories we hear, it doesn't mean anything related to that case. That case has to be won on Cassie. That's the entire case hinges on Cassie. The other stuff we've heard about him, that's not going to be a part of the case. we can hear testimony against it, but they gotta win the Cassie part of the case. She is the sex trafficking victim. She's the only one that we know that is a part of that Fed case. They gotta win that part. They gotta win that part. If they prove that Cassie was a volunteer, they lose. Now, court of public opinion is cooked right now. Cassie is a volunteer, a victim, as far as everybody is concerned, except for Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy's attorney says this, and this is breaking fucking news. Diddy's attorney has reviewed 9 freak-off tapes featuring Cassie and says that she appeared to be enjoying herself. Really?
I like to get dominated.
Okay. She not only consented, but thoroughly enjoyed herself and is extremely and evidently happy and dominant and completely in control.
I like to get dominated.
Wow. Now, this is, of course, from Diddy's attorneys. Now, I would love to get my hands on these tapes because I want to see this little C-Mexican get folded up like a love letter from the 2nd grade. But apparently they said she was having a party. She wasn't being a victim in there. Now, people are saying she was drugged and alcoholed. Well, everybody was drugged and alcoholed, including Diddy. So is anybody consenting, or is just she not consenting? See, are we just going to let her play the victim? I don't know what I was doing. 15 sex tapes. 9 sex tapes deep. Now, that doesn't mean she was not beat up. All right, we already know. We'll give you that one. All right, she beat him up. She got beat up at the elevator. Of course, 1 punch crunch. All right, like I said. So she's got to manipulate the system and shit like this. Yes, she can't withstand punches. This is obvious. But let's go back. Let's go back. She was enjoying it. All right, she wanted to get dominated.
I like to get dominated.
She was playing a dominatrix. I gotta see these tapes, man. I gotta see these tapes. All right, I want to be on the jury. I want to be on the jury. Apparently, TM Zizzle has picked this story up right here. Diddy says the freak-offs were consensual. Cassie kept the tapes. All right, and they got him here with the baby oil. Oh no. And it says Diddy says the freak-off videos that the government is trying to use against him actually proves his innocence. He says the videos show consensual sex with Cassie, and he even claims she appears to be enjoying herself. According to new legal docs obtained by TM Zizzle, Diddy's defense team says they've seen all 9 of the so-called freak-off videos that the Fedi Gov are making a big stink about. But his attorneys say the content of the tapes amount to private sexual activity between fully consenting adults in a long-term relationship. Right there. Shout out to them.
I like to get dominated.
All right. Can I get them tapes, though? Can I get them?
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir. Can I get them tapes? All right. I just want to see. I want to see what Cassie like in them tapes. All right. I don't want to see Diddy in them tapes, though. All right. I just want to purview as a professional here so I can give you my professional opinion.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir. It says right here, Diddy's legal team says his ex-girlfriend Cassie not only consented, but thoroughly enjoyed herself and is evidently happy, dominant, and completely in control. The docs reference victim 1, who we all know as Cassie. The prosecutors described the videos as elaborate and produced sexual performances in the federal indictment against Diddy, but his lawyers say the footage does not depict sex parties, but rather adults having consensual sex, plain and simple. All right. And there's the TM Zizzle here covering the story, so don't at me. All right. It says the Diddy's attorneys also say the tapes were not secretly recorded, and they push back on some of the conspiracy theories surrounding the case, claiming, quote, there are no secret cameras, no orgies. Okay, no orgies? No other celebrities involved, no underground tunnels, no minors, and not so much as a hint of coercion or violence. And get this, Diddy claims Cassie kept the recordings on her device for years and turned them over to the government herself. And he's refuting the Fed's position that he kept the videos as collateral. He insists the videos are not on his devices and were not seized from the raid at his house. Wow, damn.
Trying.
Now, again, we're not saying and choosing sides here, but would this surprise you at all? And that's a nice piece of calico that girl is, Cassie. Go back 10 years and come over to CGA's house. No, I can't trust you now. Diddy's attorneys say the tapes don't show any evidence of violence, coercion, or threats, manipulation, drug use, or excessive alcohol consumption. And they add, there is certainly no evidence of sex trafficking, that's his case. Diddy also says he's innocent. And his team says the proof is on the tapes. He also reached out to Cassie's attorney, Douglas Wigdor.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
So far, no word back. Of course, they don't have to give any word back to the TM Zizzle right there. But of course, this is breaking news related to this case. Obviously, you would think Diddy would make this defense. He has to have a defense. And I didn't see the tapes, but I seen some other tapes of some other people. And yes, if you're saying certain things are making you a victim, but then it makes the other person the victim too, right? Let me just give you an example. People are saying, hey, this is what predators do. They say you enjoyed it. And many times we know victims of these things will enjoy it in the moment, or they will fake like they're enjoying it in the moment. And the whole time they were under duress. Sometimes they are paralyzed with fear. Sometimes they get through the act just to get through the act so they're not further victims, right? They're not beat up in the situation. So she was acting. That's what she's going to say. I was acting like I enjoyed it, because a lot of victims say they act like they enjoyed it, or they don't remember details. They blacked out. I blacked out. Or they might say I was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Now, here's the problem with that. Was anyone else in the room under the consumption or under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Were any of the men indicted in this case? Were any of the sex workers that were hired under the influence of drugs and alcohol? Were they taken voluntarily? If they were taken voluntarily by Cassie, any of the men, the sex workers, the bisexuals, and Diddy, aren't they also not able to consent? That's my question. That's my question. If you're saying she couldn't consent because she was under the influence of drugs in which she volunteered to take, we have to prove that. Diddy is also under the influence of drugs and he can't consent either. Well, as we know, we're not going to allow that. But in a legal case, that's going to come up. That's going to come up. Can we prove that he plied her with drugs, forced her into drugs and alcohol? Because that's what people are saying. Well, she was drunk and she was under influence of drugs. Did she take them voluntarily or were they forced upon her? You have to prove that. You can't say, well, he forced it upon someone else. Someone else isn't a part of the case. Cassie is a part of the case. Anybody on YouTube are not a part of the case, although they can possibly play that. Maybe Diddy's attorneys will say, no, you can't use that as evidence. That's just somebody talking on YouTube. If Diddy forced her to take drugs and then she's participating, then they have a case. If she smoked up all the smoke and drank up all the drink, and she was out there having a party, which people have said she was on the pink 2C2. She was volunteering to take drugs too. If they prove that, they have a tough case against Diddy. New world order. They have a tough case. This case is going to be very complicated. Although I will say Diddy is suspect. All right, I'm going to just tell you that. He's always been suspect. He's always been probably doing things. He probably is an asshole, but that don't mean you're guilty in this particular case. If they could show the tapes, and if they can prove Cassie was a volunteer, which is going to be a tough uphill battle for a jury of his peers, if they can prove that, he could walk. It's still going to be a tough case, and he's going to have to spend $11 million to be able to prove this. But now that's their defense, just so you hear it. They're saying Cassie was a volunteer. She was not when she was voluntold, too. But she is not a victim. And I've ironed out in many of these situations here, you're basically saying because Cassie's 19, which she wasn't at the time of many of these tapes. She was well into her 20s, 25, 26. We already know that. She was 19 when the relationship started. The tapes will prove that she was 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. People still going to prove, oh, she was 19 and he was a predator. Okay. Nah, those tapes were when she was in her mid-20s. All right, fully capable. If they can prove that she was out there participating in this, it's going to be tough for them to convict him because she is the case. Despite what we hear about Diddy and the parties and LeBron James and the orgies and the kids and the minors and Diddy's son, I hope you know, technically those aren't a part of the case. Technically, those aren't a part of the case. I'm pretty sure they can interview people and use witnesses and testimony, but Cassie's sex trafficking case against Diddy is 100% the case. They can't lose that and then go off, well, he drugged another set of people over here. It's going to be tough. Going to be tough. All right. Should he go to jail? It's kind of like the O.J. Simpson thing. He's going to go to jail for something. He's going to lose many, many millions and billions of dollars for something because of his past behavior. But I don't know, man. The Cassie part of the case is weak. All right. It's weak. But he going to have to prove his innocence. What do you think about this in this case? I'll put a poll up. Is Cassie a victim? Is going to be the question on the poll. Is Cassie? And if any women out here look like Cassie, please step forward in the classroom right now. All right, hold on for a second. Is Cassie a victim right now? All right, that's the case. All right, we're not gonna say is Diddy a freak. We know that. All right, if anybody does look like Cassie, if there's any C-Mexicans out there, Filipinas, if there's any Mexicans, real Mexicans, Latinas, is any, hold on for a second here. Any women out here look like this, let me know. All right, I want to see you front class pronto. All right, I want to see you up front and personal. Anybody right here? All right, I'm going to have to go. What part of the Philippines do I have to go to see this shit?
What kind of fuck you give me?
I need some volunteer Cassies coming up here. All right, any Cassie volunteers? Anybody out here? I'm wondering. All right, it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother. I'll pay you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. All right, this is anybody possibly. Ladies, are you here? Any Cassie-looking bitches in here? I want to know.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother. All right. All right. What? How much you need to participate in the
Trying.
All right. I'll put up a couple of dollars. I got some, let me check my wallet. All right, let me get to these super chats and we can end this show. Somebody said in Colombia they're there. All right. Oh, y'all telling me to go places. Manila, Colombia. All right. I'm going to check too. I'm going to just get off the plane. Oh, no. All right. Shout out to our brother here. Kev Brown says, I've lived. Oh, I got you. Kev Brown is in the buildings. I don't know if I can say your government name. Steven says 2 months ago, it looked like the entertainment industry would go down because of the Diddy case. Now, nothing is going to come from it. He'll lose his wealth like OJ, and that about it. What if he walks? Would people be irate if Diddy walks? Right? Would people be mad if Diddy walked? Because in this case, it could be possible. What happens if Diddy walks? And he becomes OJ too. Well, when he's out, if he gets free, he's never going to be able to be comfortable. People are going to definitely give him the OJ treatment. Kevin Sullivan paying tuition. Appreciate you, coach. And shout out to the Train Yang Gang. Shout out to the Train Yang Gang. Shout out to our brother here. Let's see here. We got like a couple more. And then I got to get ready for the rest of my day. He getting hit with something. You think that, well, what can they put him in jail for, though? I mean, because they got to win the Cassie. So, you know, maybe I think they're in a position to where they got to throw him in jail for something. All right, they got to give him the R. Kelly. And I think even the sex trafficking charges, even without Cassie, you you still have hired sex work. Well, she hired the sex workers. She hired the sex workers. That's what she said. She said she was responsible for hiring the sex workers. And he went from city to city doing the man act. They got to get him on something, man. I don't know, man. This is going to be tough. 91% of people say, oh, the racketeering. Is this the RICO? 91% of people say that Cassie is not a victim. 10% people say it's a RICO case. So yeah, the racketeering, yeah, it's a complicated case, but he might not get the sex trafficking. Man, damn. Cassie's a reluctant participant. All right, so that's interesting. What does that mean, though? So she was participating, but she didn't want to?
What that mean?
All right. Like she was doing it, but she didn't want to. So all the sex she was having, she didn't want to have it. All right, let's frame it like this, because I got like, how many time I got? I got a little bit of time. I got like 10 minutes. Somebody said the feds never lose. Yeah, they rarely lose. So when they bring a case, they got you. All right, so they got his ass. All right, but gotcha, bitch. They have a 95% conviction rate, but let me just make sure you understand. Most of their convictions are because they got you. And so you basically will settle. You will take a deal. In this case, they're not offering Diddy a deal at this moment, and Diddy is fighting the case. We do know that there are people that have beat a Fed case. All right. RICO, not so much, but people have beat a case. Murder, Inc., Irv Gotti beat them. There was another guy that beat them. I mean, it's a small relative chance of beating them, but when you fight them, you got a greater chance of beating them than if you don't fight. All right, their conviction rate is way, way high. But I'm going to ask you this. You live with your girlfriend. You live with your girlfriend for 10 years. And your girlfriend has a case against you, and she starts bringing out receipts and calling all of your trips and travels that you had sex trafficking. Right? And you go, that's not true. You were having sex with me willingly. We were having orgies. When we went to Brazil, we banged a prostitute in my, you know what I mean? Like, you start looking at all of this stuff. And then, might I add, she tried to extort him prior to bringing this case. Whether you believe it or not, she called Diddy and asked for whatever amount. She says, you owe me this money or else. And for all intents and purposes, that could constitute extortion. So you're married. You go on for 10 years, or you got a girlfriend, you go from city to city, coast to coast, you're having orgy and sex parties or whatever you're doing. She builds a case, and then before she files the case, she asks you for $10,000. You say, fuck you, bitch, and then you get sued. So think about that. Like, think about how that looks. That she would go to them and say, here's the case. If you don't give me the money, let's just say, let me just say this. What if Diddy gave her the money? Is she still a victim? Okay, so she came to him. She's like, I'm going to tell the whole thing about the freak offs and the 2C and the so forth and so on. And he says, I don't want you to tell. And then he writes her a check. And she puts the lawsuit away for later details, or they sign whatever they sign. Is she a victim? She basically took the payola. Or is he a victim of extortion at that point? To me, that's a complicated issue. She approached him first and said, pay me or I'm going to tell. I'm going to put this out. He said, man, I don't care about none of that. And then when she put it out, he cared. Right? He was like, oh, shit, I didn't really think you would do it. At that point, you can't say you were a victim when you took the payoff. Is this true? That's exactly the truth. You basically saying, I believe I was a victim, but $30 million will take care of that. That's extortion, blackmail, whatever you want to call it. That would literally be probably fall under extortion. But that's what she did. That would be similar to your ex-wife saying, I'm going to tell all those times that I took my finger and played with the dookie hole. All right.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey,
and then you like, I don't want people to know that. And she says 50,000 and you pay. Or else you're going to force you, say you forced her to play with your, never mind.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
Is that a victim? Are you a victim in that case? I think not really if you've attempted to get money from him prior to dropping the details. A victim would be, I want to be repaired from this because you did this to me and I didn't contact you before. I'm going to the authorities. All right, just.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
I know. That sounds like a volunteer to me, but come on, man. I'm just trying to be pragmatic here. Don't blame me for things. I'm just trying to think this out. I don't care about Cassie or Diddy. But if that personal trainer thing, well, Cassie, I can't trust Cassie no more. All right, I think I actually have got everybody. So I appreciate the support. Kevin Sullivan, shout out to you. Let me refresh the screen one more time and we can get up out of here and get ready for tonight. Yes, we will. Shout out to the Coach Gang. Hit the like button. Hit the replay. We out of here. Peace.
Vibe blowing at the jack, got the loud jumping at the back. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the Benz jumping at the bag. Vibe blowing at my jack, got the loud jumping at the back. Everything I'm on slack.
Maybe look at the million. This would be the first.
They wild, I see.
I'm innocent.
Bro, you hear that guy?